And to set the record straight, Tupac, this interview is not about your trial, your court appeals. It is about Tupac, the inner man, then and now. Since your period of incarceration at Clinton Correctional Facility, have you taken the time to reflect on your previous lifestyle, or specifically your gangster thug image?
I don't see it as me having this gangster thug image. Thug life would be more accurate, but it's not an image, it's just a way of life, it's a mentality. Yes, I have taken the time to reflect on it. In my reflection, I don't see it as being wrong, I just see it as being a stage that we all go through. You know, it's just like that. For little white kids and rich kids, they get to go to the military academy or ROTC, or they get to take all of this energy and put it into the armed forces. And for a young black male, a young Puerto Rican or Hispanic person, we got to put this in the streets. That's where our energies go. That's the only place we have to put it. So that's where we end up putting it. So that's what I did. I don't feel like what I did was so evil. I just feel like the way I was living and my mentality was a part of my progression to be a man.
Surviving several gunshot wounds is a wake-up call and a miracle in itself.
No doubt.
What were your thoughts as you lie in the hospital recuperating from the gunshots?
They shot me, straight up. I just kept thinking, they really did shoot me. I really did believe at one point, up until I got shot, that no black person would ever shoot me. I was their representative. I believed that, you know, I didn't have to fear my own community. You know, I was like, I represent them. I'm their ambassador to the world. They would never harm me. They would never rob me. They would never do me wrong. But as proven by this false rape charge, as proven by the gunshots, as proven by a lot of the comments you read in the news and in the media, that's not true. You know, I'm just one man. So I just thought about how it would change. What would I do? How can I make them sorry that they ever did this to me? You know what I mean? How can I come back like 50 times stronger and better?
How do you spend your time in prison?
Well, the first 8 months, I spent in solitude, 23 hours a day locked down, reading, writing. I wrote a script called Live to Tell.
Which is about?
It's like a semi-autobiography on my life. Mm-hmm. Half me, half fiction. It's real good. It's my first attempt at really writing a screenplay. I used to always add things to like poetic justice. I added my own words to poetic justice. I wrote whole scenes in Above the Rim. Mm-hmm. In Juice, I use a lot of my own words. This was the first time that I actually sat down and write a whole script with characters, real live, breathing characters. And so Live to Tell, I did that, worked out, do a little push-ups, calisthenics, read. I read a lot of good books. I read a lot of Maya Angelou's books, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, listen to music, you know, different types of music, calm my soul. Dionne Farris, she really got me through a lot of this time.
Mm-hmm. Does the prison experience provide a source of new material or inspire your creative sources for a new album?
Everybody thought it would, you know? Everybody's like, oh man, he's in jail now. I know he's gonna come out, he's gonna have a bomb album, but it's the opposite. Prison kills your spirit, straight up. It kills your spirit. There is no creativity, there's none of that. You know, I see a lot of it in other prisoners. Mm-hmm. They got artists in here, they got poets in here, you know, but as far as me, it just killed my spirit. I couldn't write. I only recently started writing, and besides the script, the script was just like flashing back to my old life, so it didn't really take too much for me to be inspired by. But in terms of writing music and lyrics, I didn't have that, I couldn't do it. Now, I just, you know, finished a couple of tracks, so that's good, but it doesn't really inspire creativity.
Is your music a reflection of your true thoughts, life experience, anger, or vision? The music that you recently, especially your Me Against the World album.
Me Against the World was all out of my heart, you know, like as close to telling the truth and selling records as I could possibly get. And most of my music is like that. If you look back over past albums, I just try to speak about things that affect me and about things that affect our community. Mm-hmm. And I try to do it from a viewpoint of the watcher. Sometimes I'm the watcher, sometimes I'm the participant. and sometimes it's just allegories or fables that are, have a moral or have a theme, underlying theme in it to do it. You know, like my inspiration for writing music is like Don McLean when he did American Pie, and he did Vincent, like Shakespeare when he does his things, like deep stories, you know, like raw human needs. Lorraine Hansberry with Raisin in the Sun. I want to do that to my music. That's how I like to do it. Marvin Gaye, you know?
Can we talk about some of your lyrics
Sure.
that you feel reflect the harsh realities of a young black man living in America, but at the same time, in one sense, it offers them hope and respect?
No question.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how Dolores Tucker and Bob Dole and all these other dudes, how they can say like we got gangster music. I never even classify my music as gangster music. And if you really, I know they haven't listened to my tape. I know somebody geesed them up to go attack Tupac. And now what it does is they attacked a few famous rappers, and now them themselves are famous. Bob Dole want to get elected, which he won't be. Dolores Tucker just want to get a name, which she won't find, because it'll fade. I don't see how she can say she's helping the black community and strike back at us. We are the black community, you know, we are a part of the black community. But as far as the lyrics, you can look at lyrics in my album, any album, and I'll pick out lyrics and I'll shut them up on all their points. You can look at my recent album, Me Against the World, the title song, Me Against the World, where it has lines that says like, can you picture my prophecy? Stress in the city, the cops on top of me. The projects is full of bullets, though bodies is dropping. They ain't no stopping me. Constantly moving while making millions. Witnessing killings, leaving dead bodies in abandoned buildings. Can't reach the children cause they illin'. Addicted to killing and the appeal of the cat pilling. Without feeling, but will they last so be blasted? Hard-headed bastard. Maybe he'll listen in this casket. Now how does that glorify thug life or gangsterism? I don't see how that does it. I don't understand how that could be, how you can say, you know, we're the cause of all this violence.
Is it true that you were born in prison?
Not born in prison. My mother was pregnant with me while she was in prison. And a month after she got out of prison, she gave birth to me. So I was cultivated in prison. My embryo was in prison.
It's obvious in your music that you have a strong reverence for your mother. Tell us about that relationship.
It's, you know, that's my homie. My mom's was my homie. We went through our stages, you know, where first we was mother and son, then we was, you know, when we was born, it was mother and son. Then it was like drill sergeant and cadet, you know. Then it was like dictator, little country. Then after I moved out and I was on my own, came back and it was like some prodigal son type of thing. Where now, you know, she respects me as a man, I respect her as a mother for all the things, all the sacrifices she made. So she's really my friend. You know, it's like, it's not just me. I think all young black males and all Hispanic males, really all males period, but especially from that ghetto lifestyle, we have a deep love for our mothers because they usually raise us by themselves. You know, so you always feel closer to your mom. Even back in the day, they had, I always love my mama. It's been going on for years.
All right. Do you feel for those mothers who lost their children and babies to senseless gang and youth violence, do you have a message of consolation for those mothers?
Yeah, I do. Like with Yummy, when he passed on, you know, I know that hurt his family. I know it hurt the family of the female he supposedly have, you know, shot. Just recently, this lady wrote me named Clovis Benjamin from San Francisco. And she's a male woman, and she was writing me, telling me about her son, her nephew had just been killed. And the day before he died, he was like, I'm going to get Tupac's new tape. So she wrote me to tell me, you know, they played Dear Mama at the funeral, and boom, boom. And that touched me, you know, and I was like, what can I do? Is there anything I can do? Let's do some concerts, let's do some organizing. I was like, if she's strong enough to keep going and make a difference, then I can be strong enough to make a difference. And that kind of focuses me back on what I should be doing and not let me like veer off back into the lifestyle I was living, because it's real easy to do that. But I definitely feel for the mothers. I think that what we need to do as a community is start taking control back of our communities. You know, I understand it's always going to be drug dealing. I understand it's always going to be violence, but we just need to regulate it so that we can at least have like a peaceful zone where we can all be cool, you know, or else we're going to all die. We're going to all be destroyed because soon the government is going to make the young black male and the young Hispanic male the prime target of their all their resources and all their jail sentences and all their powerful weapons and technology will be the enemy. So unless we stop it now, regulate it, we're going to end up crashing against a wall.
Has your record company, Interscope, been supportive of you since you're in prison?
No doubt, very supportive. They let me pick my songs, pick the singles. I got another album that I had completed before I went to jail. They keep that hot, keep it, you know, mixing it, getting it ready for release. I'll be releasing another album probably December of this year. They've been real supportive. I even had one of them come up, you know, one of like the top people at the record company come up and see me. They send their love, their support, whatever I need, money, whatever. So they stayed down. That's why I'll stay down.
Okay. Why do you think your album is doing so well and continue to do well even though you're in prison, when others who are out here promoting their product, and this is not to cast shadow on any other rapper, but it appears that you've become more popular in your music since your imprisonment.
I don't think really the album did as good as it could have been doing, because I ain't getting no awards. MTV ain't giving me no awards, getting no Grammys, you know what I mean? I think I dig real deep with this album. But as far as the success that we do have, I owe it all to my fans, I owe it all to the people who supported me. I think the reason being is that in every album, if you go backwards, people are just getting turned on to me. If you go backwards and you listen to the other albums I've put out, it was a prophecy. This album, Me Against the World, was made before I went to jail, before I got shot. And all I'm talking about is going to jail and getting shot. So it was a prophecy. So when the album comes out, then you hear about what's really going on in my real life. I mean, I don't have to say I'm keeping it real. You can listen to the music and go, whoa. You know what I mean? He said that. If I die tonight, he said that. In Outlaw, where I said some dudes in a mask coming to shoot me, I said it, you know what I mean? And it ain't easy. I'm talking about being in jail. You know what I mean? And the judge not letting me out on bail. I mean, I said all of these things, and then it happened.
How many records have you sold to date? Me Against
Over
the World.
2 million. Over 2 million. We're going for 3 million now. Hopefully 3 million we can make with the support of our fans. I also feel like it's not glorification. No matter what these people say about me, my music does not glorify any image. My music is spiritual if you listen to it. It's all about emotion. It's all about life. And where other rappers, not to diss nobody, but where other rappers might, you know, paint a perfect picture of themselves or, you know, whatever, I tell my innermost, darkest secrets. I reveal myself in every one of my records, from Dear Mama to Shed So Many Tears. I tell my own personal problems, you know, and people can relate to that, I believe. And that's what makes it sell the few copies we do sell.
You realize that you have a lot of fans out here, regardless of what has happened. And even though you haven't won any awards, you have in the hood many fans, and you have many fans across the board, so to speak. Now, from what I've gathered, there's a public adoration, not only for your music, but for you as a person, which I found to be very interesting, set apart from other rappers that I comment on and inquire about. Now, and they're all eager, your fans are eager to hear from you in prison. They want to know how you're doing. Just like you receive letters from all over the country, from kids, from their parents, and so forth. What kind of message would you share with young people? I know you've commented on gangster rap, and I understand it. I understand where you're coming from with it. But what are your comments on that subject for young people, for your fans, for 11 or 12 or 13-year-old that listens to your music?
First, I'm gonna say, I don't feel all the adoration or whatever that comes from the fans. I feel like a lot of people put different standards on judging me than they will put on the next man. You know, one rapper can say, "I'll kill you, I'll cut your heart out, I put this gun to your pregnant belly," and blah, 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 and he get all love. All I'll say is, you know, we don't need to be letting these BITCHs run our life. And I'm hating females, you know what I mean? And this other person could be the man. So I don't feel it. I think I've been attacked more than I deserve, but that's all good to me. Because I always been a fighter, always been a soldier, always been a struggler. Can't nothing stop me but death itself. You know what I mean? So as far as what I have to say to other people, I don't really want to come off like I got the answer, I'm finna teach y'all. It's not like that, I don't got the answers. But just from where I'm sitting at, I can see the only reason I ever came out and said, when I said I was living the thug life, believe me, it was all real. You know, and as sure as thug life is tattooed across my stomach, it will always be a part of me. But thug life is like the 12th grade. Some people graduate from high school and don't seek to do anything else. So they continually live the thug life. Some people want to go to college and want to go, hold on, let me pick up Yummy.
Okay, ready? Rolling.
Some people go to college.
Yeah, like high school is thug life. You know, you graduate from 12th grade and you can live your whole life with a high school diploma, but you're always gonna be missing something. That's where I felt like I was. Thug life was always gonna be real to me, and it still is real to me, because as long as the factors that make thug life are there, thug life will be there. But I also felt like I wanted to go to college, not college in a school or university, but college in life. I wanted to move up. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to expand. I wanted to grow. And that's what this was all about, by saying, you know, no more of that. I want some more of this. I want y'all to see this. You didn't like that? Well, you definitely ain't gonna like this. So what I would tell, you know, anybody who would listen to me is that, you know, you gotta start peeping game. Peeping the game. The game is the game of life. You gotta start peeping how they doing it. And if you see it, you can see the little signs that says that the guns are turning away from, you know, Europe and Russia and Iran and Iraq, and they're turning to us. Because look how they're doing our music. You know, you've never seen in no time in history where they've put so much attention on some music. You know what I mean? And made it like we are the cause of all these problems. You can look at it with a 3 strikes law. You can look at it where they're building more jails. They're starting to sell jail space. You know, jail is big business. Believe me, I'm in jail. I see the big business. They charge you for your telephone calls. They charge you for disciplinary problems. Jail is big business. You know, you can feed a whole town off one jail. This jail is in the middle of a town that feeds everybody. Everybody works here. This is the main income. So if there was no criminals, nobody would work. You know what I mean? So if we don't start peeping that, we're in trouble. Also, I know when I was young, the way they describe jail is like, you know, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't wait to get to jail. Straight up. I mean, I was scared and everything. But
What, 3 hugs in the cot? Or
no
just
question. It was just that's where you get the game. That's where you got more soldiers at that build you. But now that I'm here, this is not the spot. I know everybody go to jail, come out and say, this ain't the spot. This is not the spot. You got somebody that tells you when you can get up, when you can shower, when you can do this, when you can do that. You know, they can speak to you any way they want to, and you gotta accept it. You can die here, you know what I mean? Just yesterday, a dude was murdered. He wasn't in here on no murder beef. This dude was in here on a drug beef. You know, he's gone, he's dead in jail. You know what I mean? By another prisoner who had life. He had nothing to lose, you know what I mean? So when you start looking at it like that, you'll start seeing that it just don't weigh out to be in our favor. So we need to start figuring out another way. Now, if we do want to live the thug life and the gangster life and all of that, okay. So stop being cowards and let's have a revolution. But we don't want to do that. Dudes just want to live a character. They want to be cartoons. But if they really wanted to do something, they was that tough. All right, let's start our own country. Let's start a revolution. Let's get out of here. Let's do something. But they don't want to do that. They want to pimp our communities and portray this image that they know we all can't survive and make it. And that's what I saw. Even though I was surviving in the thug life, everybody that was trying to be like me was going to jail. And then finally I went to jail. Even though I wasn't getting shot up, they was all getting shot up. Then I got shot up. And I started seeing, damn, you know, it is my fault. It's not my fault where I made it happen, but it's my fault because I'm smarter than that. Now, if I was dumb and I was ignorant is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. Now, if I was dumb, it'd be cool. It wouldn't be my fault. But it's my fault because I'm smarter than that. I do have another way I can say this. It doesn't mean that I don't feel that way no more. It just means that let me be as smart as them or smarter.
All right, knowing what you know, what do you think about youth in gang violence in America, especially in the black communities and Hispanic communities? Youth and gang violence.
I think I'm gonna get a lot of flack for it. I think gangs can be positive. It just has to be organized and has to steer away from being self-destructive to being self-productive. I think this country was built on gangs. You know, I think this country still is run on gangs. Republicans, Democrats, the police department, the FBI, the CIA, those are gangs. You know what I mean? The correctional officers. I had a correctional officer tell me straight up, we the biggest gang in New York State. Straight up, you know what I mean? So this whole country is built on gangs. We just have to not be so self-destructive about it. Organize, you know.
But the violence.
The violence, but it's violence in America. What did the USA just do flying to Bosnia? We ain't got no business over there. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. How can they tell us not to have gang? You know what gang violence is? Mostly, and the people don't want you to hear this, somebody shoots your family member. So of course you retaliate. You know what I mean? Same thing the US does, except nobody even shot their family members. You know, they see somebody bomb a school and all these people get killed, so the United States feel like, ooh, that's messed up, we gotta go show them who's the real killers. That's the same mentality these gangsters get. You know what I mean? So until they stop that mentality, we won't stop. Or they won't stop. Because they watch this country to see what they do. America is the biggest gang in the world. You know what I mean? Look at how they didn't agree with Cuba, so what was the cut them off? That's what we do in the street. We block things off. I want to say stop the violence. I want to say the violence ain't good. And they know
why
it's
can't
not
you
good.
say that then?
Because that's not realistic. I know it's not good. If anybody speak up against violence, it'll be the brother that got shot 5 times. I got shot twice in my hair, all up in. Trust me, violence ain't cool. And they know violence ain't cool. Ain't nobody out there with a gun saying it's cool to be shooting people. It's just, you know, it's certain situations where there is no way out. But there are situations where we can find a way out. But until we find that way out, we can't say not to live this lifestyle. Now, too, we as black men, Puerto Ricans, whatever, so we stand up and start taking control of our communities. We can't get mad at anybody who stands up to do anything. You know what I mean? So I believe that it's the community that needs to do something about it. I do believe that there's a piece of liability on the drug dealers and the gangsters and the gangs and all of that, but these are not scholars. You know what I mean? We pay taxes. We pay taxes. This government is not doing anything to stop it. When the people in LA, after the rebellion, when we stopped and there was a truce, nothing happened. Did we get any jobs? No. Did we get any relief? No. But every time there's a flood, an earthquake, or a thunderstorm, America will give mad millions to somebody because their house broke down. They don't care if we stop the violence or not. They don't care about gang violence. You know what I mean? Every time that Bosnia gets shot up, any place gets shot up, they send them a whole bunch of millions in food and packages from Somalia, everywhere. Everybody getting food but us. So we don't want the gang violence to stop. So they can't ask me to tell them to stop the violence, because I can't tell nobody who's hungry what to do unless I'm ready to feed them. Then I'll tell them what to do.
How can gangs be positive in the community?
Regulate our community. If you got somebody dealing drugs in the community, make them pay for the community center. Make them have hours that they can work on that block. You know what I mean? And if they don't want to listen, then you turn against them. Be security in your own neighborhood. You know what I mean? If we so strong as gangs and as hustlers and as G's and as thugs or whatever, it should be no rapes, there should be no violence, there should be no gunshots in our community unless we the ones sparking it, unless we doing that to somebody that's trying to infiltrate or break down our community. You know what I mean? All this money that we make in the streets, we should bring it back and turn it back into the community. We need to have block parties again. We need to have leagues, you know, summer leagues and football teams and basketball teams. We need to start taking care of our own. That's how it can be positive. It can be positive when we start, you know, sending these young G's to school, sending the younger G's to college. You know, let them come back and build something.
Okay, this interview was conceived with you in mind, and to offer an opportunity for you to speak to your fans and anybody else. Now, do you have any comments on setting the record straight, friends or foes?
Yeah. I'm gonna say it like the Spanish dude in here always tell me. I don't got no friends. I don't got no friends. You know what I mean? I got supporters, people on my side and people on the other side. I ain't gonna blow up nobody's name, but I will say that as far as that Vibe interview, and everybody was saying, you know, everybody that was involved knows what happened. And everything is there. If you got a brain, just read everything over and read my reply, read their reply, read what people say. Watch people. Because you can fake for a long time, but one day you're going to show yourself to be a phony.
That's for true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what these, you know, a lot of people are doing these days. Think back. Did you think about all the people that you seen me put on stage? Think about all the people that I put on, that I got into this game, that I showed how to do this. And think about what they saying now. That's not keeping it real. As far as foes and enemies and all that, I really don't care. My only fear of death is coming back reincarnated. You know, I don't have no negative feelings towards nobody. It's not like I'm gonna get out and go shoot somebody up. You know what I mean? I know who shot me. I don't care about telling the police none of that. I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm still here. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm untouchable. I can be killed as soon as I get out of here. You know what I mean? But I go cool. I'm cool. You know what I mean? I go, you know, screaming West Side and I'm all good. You know what I mean? But what I want people to know is that don't support the phonies. Support the real. You know what I mean? How can these people be talking about how they so real and they don't care about our communities? How can they be talking about what they, all this, you know, the hood, blah, 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 blah. They don't care about our communities. You know what I mean? Listen to the words that people say in their lyrics and tell me if that's some real, if that's real to you. You know what I mean? Listen to what they saying. Don't just bob your head to the beat. Peep the game. And listen to what I'm saying and hold us accountable for it. You know what I mean? And really, you know, whatever. If somebody else blow up and I fade out, that's just how it's supposed to be. That's fate. And I don't got no problems with that. I don't got no problems with nobody in the whole industry. I wish everybody success. It's enough loot for us all to make money. But I will say, I already took 5 bullets. And if I can help it, I don't plan on taking no more. You know what I mean? And I would tell each and every person out there, don't forget about that clicking up thing, you know what I mean? Be to yourself, stay to yourself. Trust nobody. Trust nobody.
After dark.
You know what I mean? Straight up. My closest friends did me in. My closest friends, my homies, people who I done took care of their whole family. I done took care of everything for them, looked out for them, put them in the game, everything turned on me. Fear is stronger than love. Remember that. Fear is stronger than love. All the love I gave didn't mean nothing when it came to fear. So it's all good. But I'm a soldier. I always survive. I'll constantly come back. You know what I mean? Only thing that can kill me is death. That's the only thing that'll ever stop me is death. And even then, my music will live forever.
On October the 5th at Madison Square Garden, they're hosting a major benefit concert for AIDS, which will consist of all the major rappers in the music industry. I understand that it's for a good cause, and they hope to raise a lot of money from that. Is there anything that you want to say to the public about the concert and wishing them well, or a message to the youth about AIDS?
That's a big one. All I can say is people are resilient. We're very strong. There have been so many diseases and plagues that have come throughout history to try to stop us from continuing. We can beat this, but we have to be smart. We have to be responsible. I mean, I don't know what the future can hold. It's not just about putting a condom on. We need to put a condom on every time. But, you know, it can happen anyway. So really, I wish them the most success in their program. I've heard they was attaching me to the project, which is no problem. You know, I wish them success with it. It shouldn't have took us so long to come forward, so I'm glad that somebody did. Us meaning the rap community, so I'm glad that somebody did. I heard Jodeci's doing a lot of good things with that. I'm proud of them. You know, they can really make a difference. And everybody involved, I hope we make a difference. Far as me, again, you know, AIDS is a killer. I hope we put on condoms. I hope we stop it. But some of us might not even make it to live to get killed by AIDS. That's straight up.
True. In conclusion, if we're fortunate in being granted permission to host a benefit concert here at the prison against youth violence with you and your friends in the entertainment industry, would you and your record company support this effort?
I don't know, I can't speak for my record company. I'm sure they would, especially if they can make a buck out of it. But not that they're greedy, but you know, it's
business.
You know what I mean? I'm sure we could do a video or something out of it. I would love to, you know, this prison gave me so much knowledge and put me on such a right track that I would like to do a whole tour of prisons and youth centers and bring, you know, these rappers there, the hardcore rappers that they say don't give a hell about the community. And if we could come to them and do the concerts and speak one-on-one, I think that'd be cool. Because I met a lot of OGs in jail who've given me a lot of game, given me a lot of knowledge to move to the next level. I like to do the same thing. I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. So hopefully, you know, that'll be popping.
All right. Well, this concludes an exclusive prison interview with rap artist Tupac Shakur.
Can I say one thing before you end? A lot of people been giving me mad flack about this Thug Life thing. I just wanted to clear something up, you know. Thug Life, I've been getting the blame for everything that Thug Life ever did. Everything, anybody can say Thug Life and then it always comes back to me. I done had policemen get killed and I get blamed for it, and you know, all type of violence and I get blamed for it. And I want to say that, you know, I didn't create Thug Life. I diagnosed it, you know. Just like if a doctor says, this is the AIDS virus, he didn't make AIDS, he diagnosed it. You know what I mean? He won't be held responsible for every AIDS case. You know, if anything, he's bringing you information on maybe finding a cure. I felt as though that's the same thing I did for Thug Life. And in Vibe magazine, when I said Thug Life is dead, that does not mean that Thug Life is dead in the world. That just means that I have graduated to the next level, to be a player. Not a player of females, but a player of life. This game of life is a game, and you have to play it to the fullest. And I graduated, you know, I'm in college now, the college of life, you know? And I want my brothers to graduate too. I could easily just look down on you and go, the motherfucker's stupid. You know what I mean? I know something now they don't know, but that ain't me. That ain't never been me. When Thug Life was not out there and I was pumping it to you, I wanted you to know what it was like. And now I want you to know what the next level was like. So I had people telling me, you softened up, ain't nothing soft about me, ain't nothing changed. If anything, I feel like the other dudes is soft, because they out there fronting. They watching little kids get killed and they still talking it. You know what I mean? And it's cool to talk about it, to recognize it, but I mean, how many times can we say the same thing? You know what I mean? I know it's a way for us to get out the hood, but what are we running to? You know what I mean? Once we get out the hood, shit, they don't want us over there. You know what I mean? And also for the people out there, we need to start supporting not every black person that go to jail or get into trouble, but the ones that you know didn't do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I feel like people know I didn't do this. They saying right now, they still say Tupac Shakur, rape charge. I'm not convicted of no rape charge. I want to make that real clear. My charge was sexual abuse, forcibly touching the buttocks. That's what they charge. When I'm innocent of that, but that's what I'm in jail for. You understand? And we just got to be smarter and sharper, or they're going to start taking away each and every person that steps forward to do anything positive for the community. So that's why you be wondering why everybody want to live a negative lifestyle. It's safer. And the community don't support us when we do step out and take bullets for y'all.
So can we look forward to some very positive things from Tupac Shakur in the future?
Oh, no doubt. You can look forward to me doing movies, writing movies, starring in movies. Soon I want to direct them. You can look forward to me doing records, bringing on a whole bunch of groups. I already got a few now. I just signed to Death Row Records. I got Fatal and Felony. I got Dramacidal. Thug Life is coming back. My albums, I should be doing a couple more. the movies.
And what about the community?
I got a community project that's in the works right now. I just met with Al Sharpton, Malika Shabazz, Malcolm X's daughter, a whole bunch of teachers and educators and community workers, and we're just gonna start slowly but surely taking our communities back. So it's not like I'm just jaw-jacking or doing lip service. I don't care if don't nobody never support me no more. I'm doing this for self, you know what I mean? But I'm saying is that measure a man by his actions fully, from the beginning to the end. Don't take a piece out of my life or a song out of my music and say this is what I'm about, because you know better than that. And if you take me out the game, you're not gonna wanna see the next one. Trust me. Take me out the game, you're not gonna wanna see this next dude, because he ain't gonna have no compassion.
Okay. Well.
And don't come to jail. This is a maximum facility penitentiary. Do not come to jail. Do everything you can to make it around the system, over the system, or in the system. But don't come to jail. It's not the spot. It's little 17-year-old kids up in here, you know what I mean? With 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds. And I'm surrounded by, I mean, you know what my crime is. I'm here 1.5 and 4.5. I'm surrounded by dudes doing life at 60 years that's as young as me or younger. You know what I mean? That made a mistake when they was young kids and they stuck forever. You know what I mean? And we can do something about it.
Is this your message to the youth of America, or is this about not coming to jail? I mean, of course, that can be for anybody.
That's just plain out, period. Don't come to jail. I'm a messenger, you know. I come and I tell you what's going on. If I went to a club, I tell you the club is popping or the club is sorry. I came to jail, I'm telling you straight up, this ain't the spot. It's dirty, it's filthy, it's like you an animal. Okay. You know what I mean? And it's just not the spot. No man don't want to be here. No man or woman wants to be here. So if there's a way that you can get out of the game before it's too late, get out the game before it's too late. If you're going to be in the game and you committing yourself fully, then, you know, do what you can to give back to the community that you raping.
Well, my brother, I hope that this interview will enlighten a lot of your, well, particularly the youth.
They ain't going to be enlightened.
Why not?
They ain't going to listen.
They have to listen to somebody.
I didn't listen. I didn't listen till I came here. Mad people was telling me, watch out, look out, signs up ahead. I was like, yeah, I got this. You know what I mean? I hope they listen.
Don't underestimate the youth of America.
Oh no, I got mad props in them. I was one of them, but I'm just telling you what's real. You know what I mean? A hard head make a soft behind. It took 5 bullets for me to stop and see what was really going on.
Well, we're going to play this.
And we're going
to play this interview, and we're going to see if they pick up on it.
We're going to see. I hope they do.
Okay.
And I hope they look out for the next projects, the community projects, the albums, the movies. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is that, you know, I'm giving it my best shot to do right by the community. Y'all do right by me. Support me, I'll support you. If I feel like I ain't got no support, then, you know, ain't no need in me being out here and putting myself on Front Street. If I feel like I'm getting supported, I go all the way. Just like I went all the way for Thug Life, I go all the way for the community. But as soon as y'all turn y'all back on me, I'll turn my back on y'all, and we won't have nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? I'll go ahead and do something crazy and cut my nose up and, you know, bug out. But y'all support me, I'll support y'all. Nah, you know I ain't gonna go out like that. I'm just saying. But I also want to thank everybody for doing Temptation, the video for me. All the people that supported me, Tony Danza, that wrote me, and all the people that wrote me. You know, the mothers, the kids, everybody that wrote me. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry I can't write everybody back, but I do feel it, and you'll get my answer in the albums.
Okay. Thank you for granting us the interview, Tupac.
Thanks for coming, man. You got me out of my cell. We on lockdown right now. Some kid just got murdered. You can't even move. No food, no yard, no programs. We stuck in our cells, so it was good I could get out for a hot second. Okay. And especially, you know, find out I can get this Bizel ready to hop out, you know. And look for Death Row in the future. We finna come out pretty tight. No question. Sign with Death Row.
All right.
I have something to offer to business that hasn't been shown before. You know, I have a whole energy that represents not just black youth, but white youth, Mexican youth, you know what I'm saying? That change right before you go from being 18 and unresponsible to when you go to being like 21, 22, and the whole world's on your shoulders. I believe strongly that my audience empathize with me because I show that side. I show that emotion, raw, uncut, good and bad. And so I think I can bring that more funnel, more directed into screenplays, more albums, producing, managing. You know what I'm saying? If I can figure out just how to control it, I can use it on a lot of different levels. I trip off because it happens out of nothing. It just goes, you know, everybody just be screaming and acting, and I just trip. I get uncomfortable, and it's like similar to a deer being caught in the headlights. I just freeze, you know, and I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should be what they want me to be, or if I should make them hate me so they can stop. You know, like say something mean so they can just stop. But I'm just like caught in the middle of it because you can't. I mean, no one can do that. Police can't do that. They can't stand in front of all those people and control them with a gun and mace and all that. So me with just words, it's like a battle to find the right words to say at the right time.
I'm curious, when you think about the idea that you do have that kind of control over so many people, in one sense, the whole idea of being a role model comes up in the imagery. And a lot of people who know you, and I talked to them beforehand, suggested that, hey, you know, when you meet him, he's going to be something entirely different than you imagine and what the media is portraying him. What about that idea that you have been portrayed? And sometimes, I mean, to be honest, you like the portrayal of you just hard,
That's
thug.
Right. That's right.
Don't step on me.
That's right.
You're in trouble.
That's right.
Yet there's another side to you, too. What about that idea that you've got to be able to figure out where you're going?
To me, it's like it is my sensitive side that likes to blow up the hard side, because if my image or my reputation can stop a confrontation before it happens, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? I know how it is day to day. It's a constant man ego check going on in this street, in this world. So part of that is just like, you know, that's my resume. But as far as the media, they look at it as something different. They don't care about my resume. They don't care about me not getting in trouble. It's just another story, you know, and it's a real story. They don't have to pay for it, and they're going to milk it for all it's worth. As far as people, they want me, when they first see me, to humble myself. They want me to be like this and da-da-da, just because they're scared of me. But I don't feel like that's my job, to humble myself, to show you that I'm not a threat. I'm not a threat, unless you're a threat to me. You know what I'm saying? So when people say, when you meet Pac, he's different than he is, because when somebody one-on-one, anybody one-on-one, I believe, honestly, that I can talk. I believe that I have the ability to reason, I have logic, I have compassion, I have understanding. If we talk, there's no problems. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what happens. People use what they heard in the media, and that's how they come at me. And then, you know, we got to clash.
One of the things that you read in the media is that you're angry, that you personify your generation, that you just got some angry folks out there, and you're one of them. I'll put it to you. Are you angry? Are you angry with what you see society is about?
Yeah, I'm extremely angry, confused. You know, a lot of the times that I sat up in court, I couldn't defend myself. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like the things they were saying about me were beyond my comprehension, or the things that I could say weren't going to help my case. But because it's like being exiled, you know, from society, and that's how I feel. And this whole the anger comes from, I'm tired of waiting for my past to get into society. All I ever wanted to do was make me and everybody around me feel more comfortable about where we were. You know what I'm saying? About the places that we stayed. This is our home base. Let's build it up. Let's be happy about where we come from. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to assimilate and get a pass key to where they at. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that everything needs to be separate, but we gotta find pride in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And once you get the pride, like damn near 2 seconds after the pride comes anger. From being held like that for so long, and to be made to go through those changes, you get mad. You know what I'm saying? As soon as any black man receives his first 3 checks, he starts getting mad. Because it's not about the necessity of having to have a job and having to pay and having to do that. You don't care no more about the smiles and the, you know, yes, massa, because you done got paid. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like you want to save money. You want to help other people. And you see how far it is, how far you have to go to help anybody in your neighborhood. It's set up for me when I get paid, for me to exit the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I've had these problems is because I haven't left yet. And these problems don't come from a white man. It comes from just society, the problems that we have.
Let me put this to you. A lot of people tell me Tupac is, for the most part, a nice guy. This old thug thing, hype. good for record sales. Helps him identify with the young people who are out there and angry, who would maybe label him a sellout like they did Hammer if he didn't have that hard side. What about that?
First of all, nobody could call me a sellout. I'm not going for that. I'm not even in that. I'm not looking for approval from the black community because we don't give approval. You know, we don't really do nothing but exist. So it's not like black people could tell me you a sellout or you true blue. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. I'm not even caught up in that. But I can see that, you know what I'm saying, the one thing we do have in common as black people is we share that poverty. So the thug side is more closer to the poverty than me being rich. You know, how can I come to any community center, you know what I'm saying, sporting a Rolex Presidential, all these diamonds, and be like, look, we, you know what I'm saying, gotta. But now, when I say we, they know what I mean. I'm not saying like I live in this neighborhood and nothing, but I'm a thug, and they thugs. They can relate to it. I don't even have to say that, you know what I'm saying? When I come, I don't have to say I'm real. They already know that, you know what I'm saying? From me being me, from not pushing the thugness, but I know from the business that everybody in this business is always whispering in your ear about what you can't say, what you can't do, what you can't wear in this world and in this world. It's two worlds, a white world and a black world. All I did was stand in the middle, you know what I'm saying, and say I'm living in both worlds. I can go to the streets and survive, and I can go out here and do my business out here.
I'm play devil's advocate again.
All right.
Critics say, yeah, but you're being pimped. You're being pimped by the record executives who will allow you to do your thug life because it portrays a certain black. I mean, you've heard it,
Yeah.
that if you were just a singer, you wouldn't have the same record contracts you have.
Right.
But because you portray the thug life, the gangster rap, they've allowed you to make that money. They've allowed you to push and make you platinum.
I beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting pimped. That's true. But just like how a woman would be, you know what I'm saying? Anybody to be pimped. You know, it's like, it's not that you get pimped, it's how long you get pimped. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really look at this situation, it is not I who's being pimped. When you look at them white kids with Raiders hats on, it's the white folks getting pimped. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm making their future. I'm writing down their curriculum. Right now, what I write in my album today, when it comes out in 2 months, that's what white kids is doing. So who really is getting pimped? What I'm writing in my raps is what them white kids is gonna be saying to their mamas and daddies when they come home. Who is getting pimped? You know what I'm saying? I'm a high school dropout. You know what I'm saying? As far as my teacher told me when I was in high school, I ain't gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta, it's going down. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. You know, everybody's getting pimped. Whether you work a 9 to 5 or whether you work for yourself, you're getting pimped by somebody. That's not the crime. The crime is how long you allow yourself to get pimped. You have to come up. Everything is a come up. Everything is a struggle. You start from the bottom, working to the top. The press and the media make you think that a black man arming himself is illegal or criminal, or that he wants to arm himself to rob a liquor store or something. You know what I'm saying? That is for me to defend myself, and it should always be. It's just about surviving, you know, and we have to be honest about the tools that we use to survive. And why is a black life any more recoupable than a white life? You know what I'm saying? We know that they don't put the same security in the ghetto that they do in the whites in the white neighborhoods. So therefore, for me to be out here saying don't, you know, put your guns down and no violence, that's hypocritical. And if I didn't talk about the violence, everybody would act like the violence wasn't there. We, as rappers, bought that violence. We bought the violence that we seen on the street. We put in our records for years. And after 3-4 years, people finally starting to see it because of all the statistics that's going on in the streets. If we stop talking about it, then they wouldn't take statistics. And when they stop taking statistics, then we'd be killing each other in the street, and these white people wouldn't care no more. Only reason they care is because, you know, there's been some strays, and we done slipped over in the white neighborhoods, and there's kids in Iowa that want to be like us. You know what I'm saying? There's kids in Indiana that's trying to be like us, because they can relate too. You know what I'm saying?
You even admitted, I don't live in that neighborhood anymore. There's no real reason for you to carry a 9mm.
Don't believe that. Why? In 2 years, I've had a gun pulled on me by my limo driver, by police, by everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I better be. You know what I'm saying? I've been attacked. You ain't read the papers about these skinheads trying to blow up black churches. Why? They see me as the enemy just like y'all do. You know what I'm saying? They can come to my house and sit outside my house just like anybody else can. A skinhead. And once my life is gone, it's gone. Can't nobody give it back to me. Not the judge, not the president, not the governor, not Calvin Butts, not Jesse Jackson. They can't do nothing but come to my funeral and talk pretty about how black people suffer. You understand? And as far as Jesse Jackson, my first acting job was at the Apollo Theater when Jesse Jackson was running for president in 1984. It hurts me for him to say anything negative about any rapper because we supported him. He should support us. You know what I'm saying? As far as his image, you know what I'm saying? What was he doing? You know, he should be the last person talking about gun violence when he sat right there while Martin Luther King caught one in the neck. You know what I'm saying? Things ain't really changed that much. I swear to God, nothing I ever say is meant to be something where innocent people get hurt. Nothing I ever say is meant to be like a end all, let's go do it right now. Nothing. Everything I ever say, and if any, this is so we can set it clear, anything I ever say as it pertains to my peers and being strapped is only in self-defense. You know what I'm saying? Because right now where I'm at, the world is harsh. And I just don't got no beautiful stories. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just be getting them ready. Because that's why I think I messed up. If somebody would have grabbed me, pulled me to the side and been like, look, Tupac, as soon as you step out here, they're gonna be at you. If somebody would have explained it to me, I wouldn't have took the same mistakes. But I made those mistakes. And that was my job to stop somebody else from making those same mistakes. To lay it out, to lay out the real map on the world and how it is. Everything I'm saying is a warning, is a plea for help. If everybody is so goddamn worried about me, why ain't nobody came to help me? You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to be no star. This ain't my job. I don't care if everybody don't cheer for me. You know what I'm saying? If you're not cheering for me for what I'm doing, don't cheer for me. Don't cheer because you think I'm cute. You know what I'm saying? Screw that. Cheer for me for what I'm doing, for what I stand for. And when I go to jail, you should cheer louder. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm standing up for what I do. I'm not robbing nobody, not stealing from nobody. I never took nothing. Everything I do to represent my people. I do because I think this is what they want me to do. This is all I want to say. For all them people that doubt me, I had no record all my life. Okay? No record, no police record, until I made a record. As my video was debuting on MTV, I was behind bars getting beat up by the police department. I got a $10 million lawsuit. They said they would settle with me and everything. You know what I'm saying? But nobody cared about that. That wasn't blew up all in the news. They didn't see me. They did not see me on TV with my eye busted, my head busted. There's pictures of those.
In Oakland,
yes, in Oakland. You don't see them pictures. You see pictures of Tupac coming out of jail in cuffs. You don't see pictures of the police standing over me beating my brains in. You don't see that. But I see that. That's what I see. You know what I'm saying? So it's all real. And I feel like just like a woman that's raped, any woman that's raped would never, ever allow herself to be raped again. Am I correct? Any woman that's violated would never allow herself to be violated again. Same thing.
You know there are going to be people who sit here and say, how can you say that when you're faced with that charge?
That's how I can say it. We got people in my own community that will get me. Why? Because I got it. Now this girl, who I can't say her name, but if I was to say her name, 1,000 all over the world would go, I put this on everything I love, on everything I love. When I was in Atlanta, I was pulled over at a gas station. Some dudes from New York pulled over next to me and told me the girl's name. They said, I know the girl that did it. They told me her name and where she's from, say she's scandalous. I can't go on TV talking about this girl, because that's what they want me to do. They want me to get on TV and talk about my black sister is a hoe, and she's a bitch, and she's a money grubber. I ain't fit to say that. I don't have to do that to show that I'm innocent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not guilty. People should look me in my eyes. They should look me in my eyes. And anybody that thinks I committed that rape should go get Brenda's Got a Baby and keep your head up and listen to him thoroughly.
It was hard to imagine that you would do that.
It shouldn't be nothing it should not even be to me. I have no patience for anybody that doubts me. None at all. It's too hard out here. You know what I'm saying? If my people don't stand up for me, who is? I understand these white folks looking at me like that because they don't know me. They didn't hear keep your head up. That ain't no fluke. You know, keep your head up ain't no goddamn come up. I didn't do that for to be smiling in my face to say, oh, he's cool. I did that from my heart. So that if they do try to put a rape charge on me, my sisters could say he ain't about that. Now, if my sisters can't say that, you won't hear another keep your head up out my mouth. You understand me? Because it's a struggle on young black males today. What would a Vietnam vet be like without a sergeant, without any backup, without any other soldiers, nobody but a Vietnam vet in Vietnam? When he came home, how would he be? And that's me. I had to go through all that street, war, everything, the same drugs that everybody else get turned out on. You know, where I would have been stopped shorted, I made it past. And here's where I am. But because I made it past, I missed some lessons. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the lessons that I missed when you talk to me. You can see where I haven't had a father when you talk to me. You know what I'm saying? You can see where I spent a lot of my time in the streets when you talk to me. Because the words that I say are not words that come from a mother's mouth or a father's mouth. It's words that comes from a pimp's mouth or a prostitute or a hustler or a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? But to me, these were my role models.
How much of that, though, in terms of growing up without a father, sometimes not being with your mother, do you lament on and look back and say, damn, I missed something big?
Everything. I know for a fact that had I had a father, had I had someone, and I hate saying this because white people love hearing black people talk about this, but had I had a father, had I had some of these opportunities, I'd have been able to help my mother more. She wouldn't have went the road she went. I could have been a better son. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't have went that road. It was the absence of my father. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with him being daddy not being there. My mother's dealing with him being my man not being there. You know, so many problems in our community that affect everything. So by me not having that, I ain't never want to hear nothing about no kind of relationships between a black man and a black woman. I knew they didn't work. Because as far as I knew, my daddy was the coolest dude out there. And my mama was a Panther. So if they didn't work, it don't work. That's how I felt. You know what I'm saying? And going out there, you know what I'm saying? It's like watching my mother just go through changes and everything. It's like my mother's my partner. She a soldier. You know, she a soldier like I'm a soldier. You know, and I watched the peep the game that she went through. If I would have went the same way my mother went, had not she did her route and showed me where it went wrong with her. My mother always told me, don't you ever, ever just volunteer yourself to our people, because they'll use you. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? She also told me to follow my heart and for me to be the leader.
But it's interesting to see just the change in your face, your reaction, your thought process.
That's all I ever wanted to do. Ask my mama. I wanted to go to college. I went to school all the way and was ready to go to college. The only thing that stopped me was money. The time all the kids in my school was writing applications to go to college, I didn't have no lights and no electricity. And that ain't my mama's fault. You know what I'm saying? So when I think back to that, I'm not thugging for me. I'm thugging for my family. I pay all the bills. You know what I'm saying? I feed my whole family. Wrong or right, I do. And I can't stop. You know what I'm saying? And if thugging is gonna make me $1 million, because it just got me platinum, then that's what I got to do constantly. And if it makes me feel, because right now, I feel satisfied. I don't feel like I've ever embarrassed myself or my people, you know, in nothing that I've done. And yet and all, I got the whole world fearing me. You know what I'm saying? At 23. Weighing 160 pounds, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't even started. I haven't even wrote my plan out yet, and they scared. I got the vice president know who I am, the president, every cop in every city, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't even started working out a plan. We killing each other because we killing ourselves. We not, when another man, I know, I've been in a position, it's out of our control. It's not like he wants to kill. He just doesn't want to die. You know what I'm saying? It's that situation when we are living in a war zone. It's not as easy as these people are making us think, that they just got some criminal ass black kids with guns. It is not like that. We live in hell. We live in the gutter. We got us stacked up 80 deep in one building. You know, by the time you get out your house, you strapped to protect yourself. Because you living in the same community that the police is carrying rifles and riot gear. They need them riot, excuse my language, I'm so sorry. The same reasons they need the riot hat, the riot jacket, the flak jacket, the double vest, the 9mm Glocks with extra bullets, the tear gas, the mace, all that. Who do you think the police is using that against? Dogs? So we fighting the same villains that they fight in the street. But instead of them seeing us fighting villains in the street, we all villains.
Is your generation the one that is picking up for where the Panthers left off, saying, all right, enough is enough? The generation before us forgot about the fight. We're picking it back up.
Not only forgot about the fight, forgot about us. Yes, and we're picking it back up. But at this level, all we're trying to do is unite. And right now, as a year, we got 1 million people that's listening. Now we can tell them something. Now we can try to get them that way, and we might lose some. We might gain some, but we would never even have that audience had we not said what was real. You know what I'm saying? And the main thing for us to remember is that the same crime element that white people are scared of, black people are scared of. The same crime element that white people fear, we fear.
So we defend ourselves from the same crime element that they scared of. You know what I'm saying? While they waiting for legislation to pass and everything, we next door to the killer. We next door to him, you know, because we up in the projects where it's 80 in the building. All them killers that they letting out, they right there in that building. But it's better, just because we black, we get along with the killers or something? We get along with the rapists because we black and we from the same hood? What is that? We need protection too.
Finally, I want to ask you about something that someone else asked you in the interview, and I thought the answer was interesting because I think it speaks to you and your generation a lot. Someone said, where do you see Tupac 10 years from now? You said, hey, I just want to be alive. That's real for you.
That's so real. I made a metamorphosis. I'm a new person today because I used to strongly and honestly, I feel like I could represent my generation so much because I honestly did not care whether I lived or died. But now I cannot die with people thinking I'm a rapist or a criminal. I can't leave until this shit's straight. You know, I'm not suicidal. I can't go until y'all really know what time it is. And then after that, boom, it's all over. And we can see, you know, how this shit fall. But that's how it is. And the reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here. Because God has cursed me to see what life should be like. If God wanted me to be this person and be happy here, he wouldn't let me feel so oppressed. He wouldn't let me feel so trampled on. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't let me think the things I think. So I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't have nothing to pass around for people to put money in the bucket don't mean I ain't doing God's work. I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? Because these ghetto kids ain't God's children. And I don't see no missionaries coming through there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing God's work. While Reverend Jackson do his up in the middle class and he go to the White House and have dinner and pray over the president, I'm up in the hood, you know what I'm saying, doing my work with my folks. And just because I don't live there don't mean I don't go there. I got to go there because I can't hang nowhere else.
Hey, yo, right now I'm chilling with Tupac. Bay Area's on right here. What's up, Pac? How you doing, brother?
What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
First off, I want to congratulate you on all your success, man, because I kind of watched you evolve. And, you know, and even though, you know, I think most people from the Bay Area, even though we couldn't be there by your side, we kind of felt like every episode you went through in your life that we could only see through the media, we was right there, you know. And brothers got a lot of love for you in the Bay. Want to know when you coming back for a minute.
I'm coming back for sure, and I love the Bay, and everywhere I go and every episode I've been through, I always felt like I was sharing it, the good times and the bad, with the Bay, because, you know, they the one, I felt like whatever I am, the Bay Area has something to do with making me. So if I'm bad, then they had something to do with making me. If I'm good, then they had something to do with making me. Between the East Coast, the Bay Area, and LA and Baltimore, those places made me, you know what I mean? Made me who I am and what I am, and made me stand out, and I owe them everything. It's not like saying I got love for one block. I got love for those communities, those areas, because everything about those areas made me who I am, and the people, from the littlest, you know, crackhead to the biggest ballers, to the teachers, to the principals in school, to the police that pulled me by the arm, everybody, to the mamas on the block, everybody, they helped raise me, and I appreciate it, because without a family, they helped me to put my family back together, just by all my fans making me who I am. Now I got a family again. Yeah. When I started rapping, I was talking about broken homes and shit. Now everybody all right again, you know what I mean? Just because of my fans being behind me, you know what I mean? And making it more than just a fan artist thing, making it more like, that's our homeboy, and we supporting them, and I appreciated that, going to jail and them making me number one. The people made me number one, you know what I mean? And I appreciated that, and I appreciate them sticking up for me when everybody be kicking me in when I'm down and everything. That's love, and I never trade that. So for the Bay and Philly and all those areas, man, all those ghettos, all those towns, I love you, and don't let this East Coast, West Coast thing get to you. I love y'all with all my heart, with everything, man. I do this for y'all. Just know that if it was you, do the same thing in my position. That's KC. What's poppin', man? Come back here, man. Oh, okay. That's KC, y'all.
Jodeci.
Doing the video for How Do You Want It.
Yeah, we kicking in the trailer with these fools right now, and it's setting off the hook. On a serious note, this is what I want to ask you, man, because it seemed like every time you come up, like with each album was something that would set you back, like the incident that happened in Berkeley back in the day with the police, and then, you know, the trials you went through with the lady back east, and then the situations you're going now, when, you know, you getting caught up in the system. Every time you come up, it seems like it's something bringing you back down. When you caught up like that, what is it that goes through your mind when you know you got millions of fans out there wondering about you?
it hurts me because it hurts me in one way because they be looking at me like, damn, you got everything. Why you doing this?
Yeah.
And in my heart, I'd be like, damn, man, y'all know I don't want to go to jail. I'm just trying to live. You know what I mean? And on the other hand, it's like, I can't really take it personal because I'm a reflection of the community, and all young black males are going through that. Young black females, young white males, you know, a lot of minorities, period, is going through that. You know what I mean? Going through trying to come up and then getting pulled back 5 steps, and you make 8 steps and they pull you back 18 steps. So to me, it's not personal because they all going through it. Only thing that makes it different and original with me is that people get to watch it from the beginning to end like a soap opera. You get to watch mine, and with everybody else, they get to hide, you know, and go to their homes and deal with it and get over it. With me, you seen me doing it. You seen me deal with my greatest pains. You seen me get over things and go through things and, you know what I mean, handle my life, and you seen it. Everybody saw it. So that's what makes it different.
Yeah, it's like your whole life is like an open book, you know. And after you got had the incident on the East Coast getting shot and that whole nine, what went through your head? I mean, I read a lot of stuff and I hear a lot of stuff on TV, but I've been inclined not to believe everything you read in the paper, you know, and the things you see on TV, you know. I mean, what went through your head as you got shot and all, you know, the whole confrontation that you had with the people that you had it with?
I came front and slowed me down. What went through my mind was like, damn, I'm shot. You know, I couldn't believe I could ever get touched. You know what I mean? So now that's why I'm more careful and even more, some people might say disrespectful, but I'm more cautious. You know what I mean? Because I have been shot 5 times. You know, I know what it feels like. It's like I'm cautious now. I'm not trying to be in that predicament. I know we all have choices to make, and my choices have already been made, even if I want to change it. What I learned in jail is that I can't change. I can't, you know, live a different lifestyle. This is it. This is the life that they gave me. This is the life that I made. You know how they say you made your bed, now lay in it? I tried to move. I can't move to no other bed. This is it. You know what I mean? Not for the courts, not for the parole board, not for nobody. This is what they gave me. All I'm trying to do is survive and make good out of the dirt, nasty, you know what I mean, unbelievable lifestyle that they gave me. I'm just trying to make something good out of that. Just like if you try to plant something in the concrete, you know what I mean? If it grow, and the rose petal got all kind of scratches and marks, you're not gonna say, damn, look at all the scratches and marks on the rose that grew from the concrete. You're gonna be like, damn, a rose grew from the concrete?
Yeah.
Same thing with me, you know what I mean? I grew out of all this. Instead of saying, damn, he did this, just be like, damn, he grew out of that? He came out of that? That's what they should see, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I see, because, you know, brother, you must be truly blessed. You know what I'm saying? You know, to go through all the trials and tribulations you've been through, and still, you know, you still maintaining. You know, and even now, they still coming. You know, you got these demons and obstacles that
What's up with that?
they just keep coming down harder and harder. You know, I mean, every time you turn around, you got somebody knocking on your door trying to take something from you, right?
Come harder and harder. And that's what kills me. It's like every time I think this is it, and I go all out to beat that, I win. Or I lose, and then I come into the next one. It's worse. It's even worse. Like it's like like the Twilight Zone, because it's like some evil, unstoppable shit that it just won't let me go. It's just got his hands on me, and it just want to see me fail. And in my mind, sometimes when I'm drunk or I'm just laying down, I'll be thinking like, damn, is this true? Will I fail? Am I supposed to fail? I mean, should I just stop trying and give up? But then I'll be like, nah, hold on. That's exactly what they waiting for me to do. Is to just say this is too much. I can't take it and give up. So now it's a fun little game that I cry at sometimes, I laugh at sometimes, I smile, I have good times and bad times, but it's a game. It's this game of life. Do I win or do I lose? I know one day they're gonna shut the game down, but I have to have as much fun and get around the board as many times as I can before it's my turn to leave.
That's for real.
And that's it.
That's for real. We chilling with Tupac right now. We're gonna come back with some more Tupac. We just lounging in this trailer. Me and Ellie, you know, at the set. All right, we'll be right back. Hey, we back chilling with Tupac. This man is multimedia. Not only is he a recording artist, he's also an actor. But before we get into the acting, I want to say, how did you first get down with Suge Knight and Death Row?
Suge, I used to always see Suge. When they did the soundtrack for Murder Was the Case, it was when I was going through all those legal problems, and he was like, yo, give me a song, dog. And I was like, yeah, you can get whatever you want. You know, gave him a song. And it was like the most I ever got for a soundtrack. I mean, the most I ever got for a song. It was damn near album budget. I mean, I think I got like something like 200,000 or 150,000 for one song. And the song, they didn't even use it, but I still got paid. You know what I mean? I got paid for everything I did on the soundtrack. And I think I did like 2 songs or something. But
And I remember when he did it like, yo, it wasn't even like because he was jocking me. He did it because he knew I was having crazy legal problems. And I was a man. He had asked me to come to Death Row, and I was like, I ain't ready. And instead of like taking it personal, he just did that for me. And I appreciated that. So when I'm in jail and I'm sitting there, what made me do the Death Row thing, because I was really going to quit rapping. But then Puffy and Biggie and all of them came out in the vibe, and they lied, and they twisted the facts. And all I wanted to do was end everything. Yo, all I wanted to do was end everything and walk away from shit. You know what I mean? Like how Scarface and all them niggas do. I want to get out the game. I'm trying to get out the game. They want to dirty up my memory. They want to dirty up everything I worked for. So it made me come back. Instead of quitting, it made me come back more relentless to destroy my what in fact is my comrades, to destroy what used to be my homeboys, what I worked for, my closest clique. You know what I mean? I worked hard all my life as far as this music business to make it East Coast, West Coast love and make everybody feel comfortable. And I dreamed of the days when I can go to New York and be comfortable and they can come out here and be comfortable. So it's not like when people say, why are you doing it East so silly? It's not like it's not silly at all. But you can't disrespect the love. You can't disrespect the peace treaty. That's just like when the Indians made deals with the white dudes and they would just come and rape their women and shoot them up and then leave. No, the Indians ain't gonna love white people no more. They gonna want to kick up some dust until we think about it and renegotiate the terms of the treaty. And that's what I'm talking about.
That's where y'all at right now.
We gotta have this beef and this war and these words and this dialogue until we can renegotiate the terms of the treaty. I love the East Coast. I'm from the East Coast. But they have to understand that you can't just be saying shit about us and think that we're not gonna take it personal. You can't just be calling us fakers and pretenders and non-creative motherfuckers and we can't freestyle and this and that and this and think we just gonna be like, oh, well, that's cool, we love them because they started it. Hell no, we gonna take it personal, just like a kid would when his bigger brother who ain't doing shit is all of a sudden, you know, that's just like the little brother making hella cash and the bigger brother's like, you owe it all to me. That's wrong, you know what I mean? Don't be mad because the little nigga's coming up, you know what I mean?
Now, do you think the East Coast, West Coast rivalry is like both coasts, or because a lot of people think it's more Bad Boy Death Row?
It is. It's not both coasts. What it is was that the East Coast, the people on the East Coast are real proud, real cultural, and real strong, just like we are on the West Coast. And so what happened was Biggie came at a time, just like what Hitler did with the Jews. Biggie came at a time when they were open to somebody saying, we're the master race, and these guys are nothing, and they're pretenders, and this is why we not making it in the business is because of these guys. This is why we not doing nothing because of these guys. So the East Coast really not hating us, really not knowing nothing about us, but just listening to their supposed to be leader. You know, listening to the person that was representing for them. Like, yeah, okay, well, Biggie, he from Brooklyn, woo. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. And so all of a sudden people saying stuff that they didn't even know was what they was doing was like ending our culture, what we started. We held it down for y'all. That's how I felt. I was in tears like, what? When y'all was out there on some, when LL was dancing with women in silver suits and niggas was on some other shit, which I'm not mad at because I might do that one day. And I love them niggas, you know what I mean? But I'm saying when you was being creative and wanting to try other boundaries, we was holding it down with this hardcore shit. It might not have been what you wanted, but it kept rap alive for years. It kept money coming in. It let them notice us. So how could you look at us now and be like, this ain't good enough? You know what I mean? We the broken home. Y'all ain't teach us this. We ain't come from we ain't got no subways or graffiti. We learned this, in spite of the gangs, in spite of all of that, we came up with this culture. You know what I mean? So I felt like we never got what we deserved. And I took it personal because I'm from the East Coast and I know about that culture, but I know about this culture because I was here when it was getting put down. So now I'm doing what the East Coast would have did if the West Coast did this to the East Coast. I'm riding for my side. You know what I mean? You wrong. This is not right. Recognize us. And the only way the East Coast gonna recognize us is for us to do it on records, by money, by sales, and by representing it. Just like KRS-One. When PM Dawn got on stage and he had talk shit about him, what did KRS-One do? So why are people telling me I'm wrong for doing what I'm doing? They love KRS-One. He is hip-hop. Am I correct?
That's true.
Right. So I'm hip-hop. I'm mad at Biggie. I'm rushing the nigga. What's the problem?
That's real.
The East Coast separate themselves from Biggie. We'll do shows in the East. Everything is beautiful. But so far, the East Coast has been with every all interviews I read, every letter I read. Niggas is like, fuck Tupac, Biggie this, Biggie. Like he's representative of the East Coast. So that's why I attack as though I do, because I'm a general and I'm a smart general. And I'm not going to attack at no blind soldiers. I'm going to attack at those attacking me. Only reason people was mad now is because I came out of jail and made this shit a reality. When I got out of jail, the West Coast, East Coast shit was really started. California love, what I was saying, put it down. And now the niggas is mad because money is fucked up. Attitudes have changed. It's not as safe as it used to be. Niggas got to think about their business steps, and that's what I wanted to happen. Now let's go to the table. Let's talk. Let's make peace. Let's work it out. Let's get a community the money.
So you saying with a conversation with guys like Puffy, Biggie, and that whole East Coast?
Sit down and conversate with Puffy or Biggie because that's like Scarface sitting down with the dude he overthrew. You know what I mean? They not on my level, but I can sit down with the OGs from there, which we are doing. People don't even know we not beefing with the East Coast. We starting Death Row East with Eric B, all the OG niggas out there from the East Coast. We got Kane, Christopher Williams, all these artists. We trying to get Bobby Brown, all these artists. We trying to put the East Coast Death Row just like the West Coast Death Row and make it major. You know what I mean?
Be big.
Right, but we not doing that until we get this business settled. And even while we doing that, we trying to get the Wu-Tang niggas because I love them niggas. I feel as though they represent the East Coast how we represent the West Coast, and I love them. You know what I mean? So that's what we trying to do. We doing it like if everybody raps is what they really think, then everybody should understand what I'm doing because it's gangster shit number one, it's war shit number two, and it's all by the rules of the game. You know what I mean? I'm doing shit. I'm calling for dialogue. I'm gathering attention for dialogue, which is what you do in a struggle for power.
That's real. That's real. We still chilling with Tupac. It's intense. I love this, brother. I like this. My man keeping it real. We're going to come back with more Tupac right here. I want to ask him, hold up, one more thing with the
Man, that's so profound what you're saying.
But it's real, huh?
It's real. It's so real. I never
Hey,
thought
but
about
it's
it.
realer
It's
than what
so
brothers.
profound.
They see people think it's realer than what they think.
People
you know?
think I just got out of jail and was like, just because I got shot on the East Coast, I'm like, fuck the East Coast.
Yeah.
No, half the rappers from the East Coast was there when I got shot. Nobody knew a thing. That's just like you come into the hood and the police ask them what happened, and everybody's like, I don't know. You know they lying. And all I was doing was like, give me my proper etiquette. If Biggie was out here on the West Coast, he was in the studio with me and we homeboys, and he got shot, no, I wouldn't tell him who did it, but I wouldn't go ride on niggas who did it, but he wanted to know who did it. And I'd be like, look, man, these niggas from Watts did it. Boom, this is why. They want to talk to you. When. That's how I do it. Just like when the niggas from the 60s wanted to get a stretch. I went to them personally and talked to them. I do it by the rules of etiquette. So I got shot. I'm like, yo, what happened? Come see me in jail. Biggie all in the air to my yeah, Parker's my homeboy Woom, but not seeing me. My homeboy Stretch is going to Biggie's concerts. Niggas is like abandoning me. But all in the air and on TV, they like, yeah, Pac, rest, you know, keep the struggle on. I was like, yo, I'm starting to turn into like Slick Rick. Niggas is just gonna act like I'm gonna just be in jail and they gonna give me shout outs and try to take my position. And if you watch, that's what Biggie did. Listen to us. I was there, nigga. I trained the nigga. He used to be under me like my lieutenant. The nigga, I used to come in New York. I used to do shows and let the nigga come on before I did Keep Your Head Up and Get Around. Because nobody knew the nigga in New York. And I used to tell the nigga, yo, if you want to make your money, you gotta rap for the bitches. Do not rap for the niggas. I told the nigga, don't rap for the niggas. Rap for the bitches. The bitches will buy your records and the niggas want what the bitches want. So all of a sudden he changed from being listen to party and bullshit, listen to his style. He changed from that to Big Papa. Because of me. He had my album, Me Against the World was the second one. He had the first one. I changed everything because Ready to Die came out and it sounded like my album. All my album was about, you know, dealing with death. And then he came out Ready to Die and I had to switch it.
Wow.
That's why it was less East Coast rap, East Coast beats, because Biggie had just took my shit.
That's what, but you could listen to it. That's what that was a success too, because he took like West Coast sound.
We flipped it. I told him that. I told him that. I trained. He was supposed to be Thug Life. All while he was coming up, I used to let him come on stage with me. He was screaming Thug Life.
Hey, cause I
he
saw
was
you
like,
at
I
the
hate
Palladium.
Brooklyn. I hate New York. I'm out with them niggas. Puffy cheating me. Woo woo woo. All of a sudden he blew up, and he wasn't saying Thug Life. So I started getting mad, and I was seeing the niggas place. He was hugging me, yo, Pac, yo, thank you, was the only nigga that woo. But he told me like about a week before I got shot. He knew the nigga that was shot me, and he was like, Pac, don't hang around this nigga. You know, we walked in with the nigga that shot me, that ended up shooting me. He's like, Pac, don't fuck with this nigga, because I knew the nigga too. He was my co-defendant. And I was like, what you mean? He's like, I'll talk to you about it later. And we didn't talk. The next time I saw him was at the studio where I got shot. So I knew he knew what happened. So I was like, Biggie, what happened? He kept sending me messages like a bitch, you know, like I'ma come see you. No, nigga, what happened? While I'm in jail, strangers is telling me, yo, you don't know? Biggie homeboy shot you. Cause they bragging, they telling they niggas in jail, yo, we just got Pac, woo, woo, woo. And my cousin was in jail in New York, cause I got family out there. He's sitting right there while the niggas get in the car going, yo, my homeboys just jacked that nigga Tupac. So that's how I knew who shot me, what happened, and everything. They mad because I know what happened. That's why they all, you know, it's Biggie and them, they're not riding. That's why what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. I'm destroying them. I fucked his wife. I'm fucking them in the game. I'm destroying him. He lives by the rules of the game. He lives off a mafia image. I'm bringing him, showing how he totally disregarded the rules of the game, and he's everything but a mafia nigga.
You're reinventing it.
Right, I'm showing him. You know what I mean? If anybody's a mafia nigga, me, nigga. I fucked your bitch. I took 5 shots. I went in your crew. I mean, I just what? I went to New York. They don't do shows out here. I did Saturday Night Live. Y'all forgot? Live in New York, where everybody knew I was gonna be there on stage, no problems. Went to the clubs, everything. In the middle with my West Side ride. You know what I mean? Because I'm real about it. I don't hate New York, but if y'all don't understand it, then fuck it. You get rolled over too. Because I hear y'all. I was in jail and I heard what they were saying on the radios. You know how we got the Wake Up show? Right. You know they got their own shows. They got their little mixed shows with Red Alert and this nigga and that nigga and what's his name? Flex. And I swear to God, dog, they used to diss the West Coast. They had these commercials where they be like, hey dog, what's up dog? And I used to be like in jail in New York on my radio like, oh shit. You know how you would feel if you heard your homeboy went home and just clowned you, and I was like, oh man. Oh, and all my homeboys like, yo, Puffy just did a show out here. I was like, how was it? It's like, good, we gave him love, we gave him this, we gave him that. He was talking all this unity shit, but then when they go home,
They be popping
Q-Tip, they made all these underground tapes dissing us.
Q-Tip?
Yes, Q-Tip.
to be on some
So
shit.
then when niggas ride back, then they want to talk about the culture and be hip-hop and shit again. But that's not fair. How you gonna be bold? And that's what they all do. They all play badasses. Same thing for the Fugees. They just diss me on the air on MTV.
Fugees diss you?
They're not personally, they diss the West Coast. They introduced my video, it was like California love. The East Side is the best side. I seen them. All them niggas was talking about how much they respect me and love me. See, I hate that. Because I be dead serious.
It's one thing when they say
Now Chino XL is talking about me. He got a rhyme where you know how you always got these little metaphors. He say, you'll get fucked like Tupac did in jail. Now I'm telling y'all beforehand, off the air, I'm gonna beat this nigga's ass. And everybody's gonna be talking about how wrong I am and how I haven't changed, but what am I supposed to do when a nigga disrespected my manhood like that? See what I mean? It's like I can't get out the game. Just like I'm saying, just like Scarface and that Carlito's way. I want to be legit. We got restaurants coming up with Alanis Morissette, me, Snoop, Suge, and Alanis Morissette open up a restaurant.
Alanis is nice.
I'm doing a soundtrack, my first soundtrack. I'm the music supervisor for this movie I'm doing. I got Alanis on there, Michelle, Incalatio, whatever her name is. All these alternative stars, no rap. All this shit coming up. But what's gonna reign supreme in 96 and 97 is the ride I'm doing. And it's not even like I feel like I'm doing it for hip hop. All I'm trying to do is get the imposters out. I remember Biggie sleeping on my couch. I remember begging bitches to fuck him. You feel me?
Yeah.
So Big Papa don't mean nothing to me. He know it. He know it. That's why he can't fight me. That's why he can't battle me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can make songs talking exactly about him, and he can't talk about me because he know. I'm the one that used to buy him champagne. All that shit he talking, that was me buying him that. He talking about my lifestyle with his album. Because when he was doing his album, he was broke, nigga. I was having money. The shit he talking about was my life. Thug life. That's what he talking about. All that Junior Mafia, them niggas was young motherfuckers that used to hang around that I used to give money to get on the train to go home at night. Little Caesar and all of them.
And Kim and all that.
Yeah, so now they rapping against me, and you can imagine how I fucking feel. When I got arrested in New York, I got arrested for Biggie. Them guns in my room was Biggie's guns because them cowards left the room when they heard the police was downstairs, and everybody left their guns in my room. So I got 4 guns in my room. Serial numbers scratched out, and I did not snitch. I took that case. So you can imagine how I feel when I'm in jail for that case, and he out there living a mafia lifestyle, giving me no money, giving me no respect, giving me no tribute, rolling with my road dog who was there when I got shot. I mean, come on, man. I'm not paranoid. I'm not paranoid. Y'all niggas know what time it is.
Yeah. I mean,
what it is that them East Coast drug dealers got them niggas under extortion. I came and fucked up everything. Because I dissed them niggas in the Daily News. They put a hit out on me. When the niggas tried to rob me, which is all they wanted to do, I knew what they told me. That's what they was telling me. Pop, they was sending me messages through my closest road dog saying, Pop, why did you fight them? They was just coming to take your shit. But I wasn't letting nobody take my shit, and I was strapped that day. That's what was I couldn't put in the bond. I had two double Glocks on me. And when I pulled for my shit, that's when I got shot. And the reason I knew my homeboys set me up is because my homeboys knew I was strapped. The dudes came straight for me. My homeboys is behind the niggas. Like, they running for the swing. My homeboys behind the niggas, and they didn't do nothing. They knew I was strapped. All they had to do was grab the nigga, and I could have bust. But they got guns, so these niggas can come up for me, and these niggas just sitting there. And they say, get, and these niggas drop to the floor. I knew it was a setup. Nobody come downstairs to after them shot.
And then after you shot, after you shot, you went up there, they looked at you like you was a ghost?
Yo, when I walked upstairs, Sway, on everything I love, I seen it in their eyes. I could never describe this look until you get shot and you see it yourself. Niggas looked at me like this. I walked out the elevator, because I walked out the elevator, I didn't know I was shot in my head or nothing. I wasn't, they said in the vibe interview, I was acting like I was in a movie. What they really trying to say is this nigga is raw. I got shot 5 times, came upstairs, did not know I had got shot 5 times. I thought I only got shot once.
Yeah, dude, sound like you got a lot on your chest.
Oh my God. It's been so long since the Bays heard from you.
And that's why I'm giving it to you straight raw, because you got to go back and tell them the shit that we ain't recording. I'm giving you that, not to tell them the specifics, but you know when somebody calls you and go, yo, why did you do this? You know to go, trust me, we talk to them, we know, blam, blam, blam. Now y'all know, you know what I mean? Just like they niggas on their radio stations know. Because what I was mad at is that we didn't have a radio station like that. Me and Snoop got an okay from 92.3 to start West Side Radio. But I don't want to do it unless it's right. What I really just wanted, I was just proving the point again. I want our radio stations to be true to us, and we'll be true to y'all. Tell us, nigga, if you want that type of love, you better give us some commercials every week. We want new shit like they do on the East Coast. We want new songs, especially for us.
Did you get the copies of the West Side Radio I gave you? What'd you think?
I love it. But that's what I was talking about. That's why now it's not such an important thing for us to do it personally, because somebody is doing it. But that's all I wanted, was for somebody to have a show like that, because I'm from New York and I know how they shows is. They dope. Everybody loves it.
Yo, we back right here with Tupac, just chopping up a little bit. We can't let you hear everything, some stuff.
Put it down,
yeah. My man definitely putting it down. One more thing about Death Row. Now, how does what's going on with Dre, and how does that affect Death Row as a whole?
Dre's doing his own thing. It don't affect us. My take on what happened was that Snoop was on trial for murder, fighting for his life. Somebody had said that Dre was in the car. The jury believed that. We needed Dre to be there to say he wasn't there. And once they would have saw him, they would have known he wasn't there. And that would have saved Snoop's whole case. Because they would have saw that the witness that had said it was lying. And Dre never showed up. He was too busy. That's how they told me. When they told me that, I was like, well, no matter how dope he is, and Dre's one of my heroes in the music business, but I was like, no matter how dope he is, if you're not down for his homeboy, Snoop, who brought him back when he was just a relic, when niggas was dissing him, you know what I mean? Then I don't want to be a part of him. I don't want to be around him or nothing. Plus, I feel as though what's done in the dark will come to light. It's secrets that everybody's going to find out about that I don't have to play a hate or dry snitch about. That will come out, you'll find out for yourself, and you'll know why I did it. I swear to God, y'all, I'm living by the rules of the game that y'all, the people, have put down for us to live by.
That's real. Let's talk about other things. Like you told us, you got a soundtrack you working on. You got a new movie, right? Why don't you talk on that?
We got a movie called Gridlock coming out. It's like a mainstream movie. It's me coming back into the theaters with Tim Roth from Pulp Fiction and a gang of other movies. I don't know who the female is, but it's a big name female. I'm the music supervisor for the soundtrack. It's my first chance ever doing something like this. We got Alanis Morissette on the soundtrack. All these big name, alternative, supposedly people who I would never get with. I got them all on the soundtrack to show just what kind of range I got. And I'm putting that kind of soundtrack out, and then I'm putting a rap soundtrack out, and I'm gonna do it like a Tupac album, basically, with me doing a whole bunch of solo songs, with Snoop on there doing some songs, Dog Pound, Death Row on there, just to show that, I got a business mind as well as a creative mind, and to show that I also have, besides just rapping, I can do I can make my way in other ways in this business.
That's for real too. Now when you work with Janet, I was wondering if maybe you could hook me up with her number if did you pursue it?
Dog, on everything I love. If anybody finds Janet, tell her I'm looking for her. That's why I said that shit in my song on My Mind's Made Up, Forgive Me Janet, because I feel like she got her shit all twisted. People that made her my enemy. She ain't my enemy. I ain't mad at her, you know what I mean? But I want to know that, you know, it ain't even like that, you know? She met me in a time of my life when I was real immature. I was coming up, going through a lot, you know? Now she probably see me in a whole different light. Maybe not, maybe she would, but I want that opportunity. So when I see Janet, I'm going to try to make right what we made wrong.
All right. Well, I'll be right there with you, bro.
Yeah, call me, man. I'll call you down, man.
Yeah, let's look that up. Hey, now, I'm going to ask you another question. 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? 5 to 10 years from now, what do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing?
I see myself having a job on Death Row, owning stock at Death Row, being an A&R person, an artist that could drop an album like Paul McCartney every 5 years. You know, not even like Paul McCartney, but there's no rapper who ever did it, so I have no one to use to say like. But, you know, that type of thing where I could just do it at leisure. And, you know, when my music will mean something and I drop deeper shit. That, I have my own production company, which I'm close to right now, doing my own movies, have my own restaurant, which I got right now, with Alanis and Suge and Snoop. And just expand. I'm starting to put out some calendars. I got a publishing company and put out some calendars for charity. I'm gonna start a little youth league in California so we can start playing some East Coast teams and some Southern teams and some, you know, Midwest teams. You know, have like a little league, like a Pop Warner league, but the rappers fund it, and the rappers are the head coaches. You know what I mean? Have a league where you could get a big trophy with diamonds in it for a nigga to stay drug free and stay in school, and that's the only way you could be on the team. And we have fun and eat pizza and have the finest girls there and throw concerts at the end of the. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by giving back. You know what I mean? Not being who I am, but by using what I got to give back. All
right. And in closing, you know, you got a lot of people, fans that's listening to you right now that don't really get a chance to talk to Tupac up and close and personal like we kicked it today. But if it's anything you want people to know about Tupac, what is it you like to say?
Number one, when I diss y'all, meaning diss, I mean like when you come up to me and I'm not giving you the kind of reaction that you think I should be giving you, it's not because I'm ungrateful. It's because I'm nervous, I'm paranoid. I just got out of jail, I've been shot, I've been cheated and lied and framed, and I just don't know how to deal with so many people giving me that much affection. I've never had that in my life. So if I do that, don't take it personal. Try to understand me and see it for what it is. Now I understand what it's truly like to be like, not that I'm a fine ass nigga, but I understand what it's like to be a fine female going in the club and all the guys just rush you before you ready to be rushed. You know what I mean? And everybody's touching you before you ready to be touched. So now I have a better understanding of what it's like to be a woman. But I also have a better understanding on fans not making me do things. I'm gonna do it because I love y'all, because I do appreciate what you did. But when you make me do it, I don't want to do it. I don't care how many albums you bought. You know what I mean? My fans to me are people who follow me and is down for me, understand me, and no matter what people say, they know me because they know my actions. They follow me through my career. Not people who just bought my album, because I buy albums all the time, but I just buy it to listen to. You know what I mean? And if you buy my album, you bought it for the music. You didn't buy it for when you see me, I just break down and start eating you out. You know what I mean? So I don't like that. Don't start, you know, extorting me for your autograph and shit. You know what I mean? I'm real. I give autographs when I want to, not because I'm all that, because I'm tired. And I want to be in this game for a long time. I don't ever want to hate the fans. And that's what these other niggas do. See, they might give you autographs all the time, but they hate you. And they don't even look at you like people. I do look at you like people. That's why I feel as though I can look you in your eye and go, yo, I don't feel like doing that right now. I don't feel like signing the autographs. And you should understand, because I'm looking at you like a human being. Let's kick it. Let's not take pictures. Let's just kick it. Do that. I want some females to do that. Just come up to me and be like, Pop, look, because every female want to come up to me and be like, I know you think I'm like everybody else, and treat me bad and tell me no. Be the opposite way. Everybody doing that. Everybody trying to show me how much they not attracted to me. Do the opposite. Because, you know, these ghetto girls, these minority women is what I call them. Them the only women I could get. Everybody else scared of me. Their parents are telling them not to mess with me. So y'all can't fade me. Y'all can't turn on me. Don't change on me. Stay down for me because I stay down for you. And don't extort me, and let's just do it forever.
Hey, Pop, why don't you talk about the project you're doing with Jodeci right now?
How do you want it?
Man.
My next single is going to be How Do You Want It, America's Most Wanted, Hit 'Em Up, and California Love, the version that people never could buy. You know what I mean? And Hit 'Em Up is the song which is a classic hip-hop record, meaning a straight battle record to all the Bad Boy staff. You know what I mean? From Puffy to Biggie to Lil' Kim, all of them.
What about Mobb Deep?
And them too, because they been talking a lot of shit, and I got them. I got songs to them. I got this song called When We Ride on Our Enemies, and I be like, nigga, you barely living. Don't you got sickle cell? See me have a seizure on stage. You ain't living well. Hell, how many niggas want to be involved? See, I was only talking to Biggie, but I'll kill all of y'all, then ball. And that's the truest shit I could ever have written, because these niggas in Mobb Deep is little kids. When I was in jail, when they came out with that song where they was like, Thug Life, we still living it. You know, in that song that they had, they were talking about, yeah, they was like, Thug Life, we still live. I took it as a diss. So from jail, I'm calling my little homies in Atlanta like, yo, they got a show out there. Get with them bastards. So my homeboys rolled them niggas like, what's up? The niggas was cowards. In the car, like looking forward, like they didn't see my homeboys going, Thug Life, motherfucker, what's poppin'? You know what I mean? So I hate niggas like that. And these are some young busters who's getting souped up by their block to come up against a motherfucker they don't even know. Mobb Deep, you know, like I know, I swallow them. Now, if this was somebody I couldn't fuck with, I'd tell you. But Mobb Deep, I swallow them niggas. I will have a train on them niggas, you know what I mean? One of them niggas got sickle cell, he barely breathing. He don't even want to see me. He'll have a fucking seizure. They both weigh like 100 pounds. They don't want, my little homies is attacking them. That's why I ain't even addressing the Mobb Deep issue, because they not even on my level. I find it disrespectful that they even think they can attack me or the West Coast. So I don't even address them little buster ass babies. And please print that, because it is on and popping. And when I say it's on and popping, I mean when I see the niggas in the spot, it's on and popping. I'm not one of them fake diss record writing motherfuckers. Only time I won't rush a motherfucker is because he straight up told me he got respect for me. He don't want no drama, because I ain't no bully. I'm not just going to beat no motherfucker up because the crowd want to see it. You know what I mean? If you don't see me rushing them, that means because they bowed down. Now the Mobb Deep fools, they don't want it. Chino, XL, Mobb Deep, Bad Boy, Biggie, Little Caesar, Junior Mafia, all of them is on our hit list, and I'm getting with them. I got a new clique called The Outlaws. They got an album coming out. It's some Jersey dudes keeping that East Coast flavor popping. It's some West Coast dudes, Southern dudes. It's the epitome of what I represent. You know what I mean? I got Big Sight from Thug Life, the solo project. We got How Do You Want It with Ron Hightower doing the directing with me, and we got all porno stars. We got all porno stars. I got people from the Bay. I got Nina Hartley from the Bay, Champagne, all porno stars. It's the big time shit. Then we just did a video for America's Most Wanted, which is a classic diss video. We got a Biggie. We got Piggy, we call her P.I.G. in the video, and Buffy in the video, and it's just dope. People gonna be talking about that video because, you know, I'm dissing them niggas. And How Do You Want It is just the dirtiest, nastiest video I've ever done. I got a Playboy version, a regular version. We got nudity, everything. It's just the most amazing video you ever see. We doing that. We doing a video for All Eyes on Me. I Ain't Mad at You. All About You. Oh yes. You know, I got all the money in the world, so we finna put it out. Not me personally, but the record company. So we definitely behind the project, and we gonna put it out. Then after get real slow, I'm gonna release a home video with like Ambitions as a Rider and a couple of the hardcore songs.
That's my favorite one. That's the one I listened to over. And track number one on the first disc. That's my song.
I just did a remix for What's Your Phone Number, which is like I did all new lyrics. I took that MC Light beat that she got out, Keep On Moving Up. Did a remix off of that with that. It's so freaky, you will not believe it. I got a whole new album out ready that I'm just holding for the soundtrack. All clean, all positive, all in the verge of like Keep Your Head Up, Brenda's Got a Baby, that type of stuff. You know, just to show the range I got. You know, I put out a hardcore double album, and now I'm gonna put out an introspective, like a Me Against the World Part 2, because that's what I think my fans is looking for, and I know what you're looking for, and I just want to do, as long as you supported my plan, which you have, now I'm gonna show you that I appreciate it. I'm gonna give you the album. You ain't even gotta pay a lot. Now, the double album is not a lot. All them songs is not a lot. You know what I mean? It was straight love, just to show that rappers could do whatever we want to.
Yeah, you want to ask about like Rapper Forte?
Oh yeah, that's what it is. That's okay. All right. Hey, yo, Pac, you gave a lot of love back to some Bay Area artists like E40, Forte, you know, Drew Down, the whole crew. Talk about what made you decide to work with them.
Because I can't always be in the Bay, and I know how the Bay is. The Bay is the type of people, man, if you ain't there, they're gonna talk about you. So I want them to know I love you, I feel you, I'm representing for you. So I know I got a certain amount of acclaim and everything, so I bring the Bay with me. I know E40 is what I was when I was with Digital Underground. He is the Bay right now, you know what I mean, him and Forte. So I get them on my album, and that represent the Bay. And it shows that we still all love and still all good, and we, by us being the representatives, we bring the Bay where we go. You know what I mean? And Forte, he always been raw to me, and I like his style. When I was in jail, I used to listen to his stuff. So when I got out, we clicked, we did the song. Now he in jail, and I got to do what he did for me. When I was in jail, he used to send out shout outs and say I support me and everything. Now I support Forte. Everybody pray for him and send letters, and I hope the brother get out of jail as soon as possible and get back to his chips. Because you know it's all a struggle for every young black man. Forte, you know how it is. Only God can judge us.
All right, let's end it, huh?
Okay.
Wait, hold on, let me say.
Go ahead and end it.
All right.
Was there anything else that you wanted to cover?
No, I'm straight.
Yo, we've been sitting here talking with Tupac, and you know, like I said in the beginning of our conversation, I want to commend you on all your accomplishments, and not only that, the fact that you've had all these obstacles and demons that you had to deal with, but for some reason, you know, you've been blessed enough to prevail. You know, no matter what y'all believe or what you hear from the media, this brother got his head together, and I have no doubt in my mind that he's always going to come out on top. And I appreciate you letting us come down here, brother.
I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to clear all that stuff up. And I'm going to represent for y'all, and I'm going to always give you the opportunity to ask me whatever questions you want to ask me, whatever way you want to ask me without me tripping. And on the same token, I want y'all to always, just when I give you the story now, it's up to you, because you are our reporters. It's up to you to give it without putting me in jail through what I told you, you know what I mean, without giving out the facts. It's up to you to let the people know what's really popping, what's really going on.
So what we going to do, we going to play back what we recorded the way you said it, you know, so right. It'll be Tupac words, all right?
Right.
All right, thanks again, man. Tupac Shakur, all right?
Everybody stay getting their papers, man.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business, if you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, 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 push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped. Just, you know, I feel like, instead of us just being like, slavery's bad, slavery's down, bad whitey, bad whitey. I mean, all right, let's stop that. And everybody's smart enough to know that, I mean, we've been slighted. And we want ours. And I don't mean by like ours, 40 acres and a mule, because we passed that. But we need help. I mean, for us to be on our own 2 feet, us meaning youth or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it for us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help. Because we have been here, we have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there, and now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You know, you dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels, and they paid and everything, and they lending money to everybody except us. And it's like, you know, everybody need a little help on their way to being, you know, self-reliant. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the album, about the Special Olympics. Everybody need a little something and they to be independent. No independent person just grew up and was born independent. You worked and you learned teamwork and you learned cooperation and unity and struggle, and then you became independent. And we have to teach that and instill that. And why is it that they want to do that? I mean, if this is truly a melting pot in the country where we care about it, and Lady Liberty got a hand like this, she really loves us, then we really need to be like that. And it needs to be the black kids. And if there's a white person who got money, then he need to help them. He need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it need to be real. And it need to be before we all die, and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you got to pay your own karma. And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you. Because I feel like, you know, it's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1 million, $1 billion, and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants.
What do you say to people that say, well, they earned it? Now you go out and you're earning it.
If they earned it, then I think that that's good, and I think that they deserve it. But even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I got to give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or a dollar. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket. And that's wrong. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But, I mean, you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you good or you bad. So since it's not about if you good or you bad, we know that because he don't got don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. And ain't it bad that you got 30? I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million. $32 million. And this person has nothing. And you can sleep. You can still go to the movies about, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are. You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not saying that when I'm never going to be rich, and you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's a struggle, and I think everybody deserves. And I think there's a way to pay these people. I think there is a way. It just takes to be revolutionary. And it takes to do something out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if we just said, okay, I got an idea. No more porno buildings. You know what I'm saying? Let's build houses. Or no more polo games. Let's build houses for poor people. You know what I'm saying? Or, look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion. But can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas. They got big trees, huge trees, all the little trimmings. Everybody got gifts, and then somebody's starving. And they're having a white Christmas. They're having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole 9. That's not fair to me. Just remember that right here, I could have been doing something with a lot of curses in it, and I wouldn't have rhymed with online vibes to the last word. It'd have been a whole bunch of motherfucking rockers. But I ain't gonna do that for the kids out there, so I changed. But vibe online. So imagine it was a rap on the back of that. I said, vibe online. Cool. That's it.
Where do you see yourself in 20 years from now?
If God give me breath for 20 more years, I see myself changing the world, because my thought patterns are so opposite of what's the norm.
Really?
So I would have to change the world, or I have to be changed by the world.
How is it working with Suge and out here on the West Coast for you? And a lot of your East Coast fans feel like your new allegiance to the West Coast has felt, a lot of them feel maybe you're not as loyal to the East Coast anymore. And
That's so nonsense. Poppycock. Because this is not a new allegiance to the West Coast. I've been on the West Coast all this time. It's just because some people, not all,
right,
some people on the East Coast be on their dick so hard that they never heard me say that I'm living on the West Coast.
Right.
It's just that by me keeping it real, I always said where I came from. I always gave New York their props. On Me Against the World, I took a whole song to give it up. So now on the next album, when I want to give it up from my home, where I'm at, everybody got a problem? Why didn't I have no problem with Biggie saying Brooklyn in the house every fucking show he do? Why didn't I have a problem with Bronx and boom? They just did a Sprite commercial off The Bridge and KRS. Why is it not hip hop when I do it? Well, I mean, goddamn. Why is it suddenly a nigga tripping when I do it? Why everybody else could have a war, have beef within the music, talk about differences, and it's okay, it's music, it's hip hop, it's groundbreaking. When I do it, it's war. And that's all I'm doing. All I'm doing is saying I'm tired of you talking about where you from. And if that's what we're gonna do now, because we was doing it like hip hop was one nation. And I have proof to say what I was doing. I did more for the East Coast than the East Coast did. I put more guns in East Coast niggas' hands than East Coast niggas did when they came out here. I put them niggas on the more weed gates and weed spots and safe havens and safe spots than the East Coast did. I put more rappers on than they did. I gave Biggie his first shows. I was the one that I was that bridge that niggas used to walk on to get over here. I explained it. I'm the one that told you. I'm why all these niggas run around with a gangbanger on their payroll now.
is there still a beef going on with you and Biggie?
It was never a beef. It's only a difference in opinion.
Right.
To me, if I like my homeboy Suge gave me the best advice I could ever give from anybody. He said, when people ask him if he's beefing with Bad Boy, with Puffy, he says like me going to a playground and picking on a little kid.
Right.
That's like me being mad at my little brother because he getting cash now. I'm not mad at that. I'm just mad at my little brother when he don't respect me.
Yeah.
Now when you don't respect me, I'm gonna spank your ass. I don't give a fuck how rich you got on the block. I'm your big brother. I will break your big ass down.
And that's my only point. And I feel as though he wronged me. You got out of hand and you wronged me. You got seduced by the power, not because he's an evil person, but because money is evil if it's not handled right. If you lose your composure, you can do anything. And fear got stronger than love, and niggas did things that they know they weren't supposed to do. They know in their heart. That's why they get hell now.
Right.
They can't sleep. That's why they telling all the reporters and all the people, why they doing this? They fucking up hip hop, because they in hell. They can't make money. They can't go anywhere. They can't look at themselves because they know the prodigal son has returned. I'm alive. The ghost is walking around. You know what I mean? And I'm alive talking. In jail, I didn't talk. I made peace. Now, everybody that thinks that I disrespected or I love my East Coast fans. I'm from there. I'm eating New York pizza. I drive New York Jeeps. Want to hear New York. But I'm saying, let's keep it real for a second. If you have the love of music that you are, study. Go back and study. Study how Party and Bullshit was me before I met Biggie. You don't hear my style in this rap. Study how after I met Biggie, Ready to Die come out, his whole style changed. Study. Study why I would be mad. Study why I would be mad when half of the major New York rappers or they managers or they agents or they somebody was there when I got shot. And nobody couldn't give me no information. Just study that. Study how when Wu-Tang got their chain snatched at 6'6" Deuce, I not only found who did it, but gave them the message that if they want to see the niggas that did it, they can see them. Man to man. Just you and them. No guns, no nothing. If you feel like that. That's all I ask for. That's all I ask for. If you're going to act like you a gangster or a G or the king of New York, I'm going to expect that. And when you don't come through, then I'm going to want to crush your empire. And that's what it's time for.
So, do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out and was going to go ahead about my life. The next issue, that wasn't even the next issue because them cowards waited about 4 issues before they got their story together. 4 issues later, half of New York is commenting on me getting shot. And before, they was all like, we didn't see nothing. In the first issue, read it, Vibe viewers. Nobody seen shit. The 4th issue, when they came back with a reply, everybody knew what I did. They knew what I said. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bullet. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work. They found the bullet. Oh, you found the bullet, huh? So what is this other shit in me then? What was the doctors talking about? What? Can you explain these other holes in me? How'd I get gunpowder all over me? That insulted my intelligence. So yes, I did say Thug Life was there. Yes, I bowed out, all of that. But when they said that, they breathed new life in me. And Thug Life not only became a rap group, but it became a way of life for life for me. Because they disrespected me, my name, my family, what I had been through. They said that I couldn't be in pain. I could not feel, I could not be hurt. In my moment of pain, when I was shot 5 times in jail for a crime I didn't commit, while every other black person, I mean whoever, they was fucking babies in the ass or killing bitches and cutting them in 50 pieces, these niggas got support. I go to jail for a crime. Everybody know I did not commit. Get shot 5 times, and I'm getting raped in jail. Wompty. They just say anything to assassinate my character. What that showed me, remember this lack of a conscience when I come out. Remember this lack of mercy when I come out. Remember this lack of compassion when I come out. But now I come out, everybody want to calm down and relax and forget what you said. Donnie Simpson was on TV in front of bars like this going, who am I? Tupac. But I'm wrong. You feel me? Niggas is hypocrites. You read why I gave my whole soul to you motherfuckers and said, yo, I'm through. I just want to chill. I just want to live life. And motherfuckers took shots from every direction. They thought that meant that I'm gay now. Here, fuck me in the ass now. So, okay, you want to see some macho shit? I'm the most macho nigga out here. I thought you niggas knew. I'm the most thuggish nigga out here. I have no motherfucking fear. I have no fear. I have only ambition, and I want mine, and I will do anything to protect and feed my family. And these niggas represent a threat. Because I worked too hard on this. And as far as hip-hop and all of that, I feel as though I'm not the god of hip-hop, but what we do on the West Coast, I sold 5 million in 2 months. Biggie album been out 2 years. He's barely touching 2 million. This nigga that had 50 remixes, 1,000. He got everybody in New York in his videos and still barely touching 2 million. I've been out 2 months. My shit sold 5 million with 2 videos out. I'm just starting. These niggas can't touch us. They can't. They can't. Really, it's funny.
Do you think the new era of rap is like non-thug life or whatever? Like, where do you see it?
That's what they want to do.
Okay.
That's what they want to do because now everybody is shell-shocked and they having trauma. We've been having traumatic nights always. I want to get away from it a lot. I tried to get away from it, but you can't. That's what they taught me.
Right.
The streets didn't teach me that thug life can never die. The world taught me that. I thought I could retire and move on. When I moved on to the so-called real world, the civilized world, these motherfuckers is worse than the niggas in the streets. They was telling, I had little girls writing to me crying, saying you got raped in jail, I'm so sorry. That shit right there is what will fuel the anger that will never die. I had to write letters to 1,000 little kids explaining to them that I would be dead before a motherfucker would rape me, and you know that. So, as far as everybody, there is no mercy in my heart. You know what I mean? I'm not out here on no wild shit like I was before. This is not the same Tupac, believe me. I'm just very pissed off. And don't think because you see me at an award show smiling or giving away an award or because I don't fight at this time, and that don't mean I ain't mad. I'm pissed off. And this ain't, don't tell me ain't nothing wrong and we should all be together and woo 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 because y'all niggas ain't getting no more money. You ain't getting no money because I made it that way.
You have groups coming out, you produce
Yeah,
groups?
the Outlaws.
Oh, really?
I murdered Thug Life and gave birth to the Outlaws. I murdered Thug Life. Them niggas ain't act right. I murdered all of them as far as the music business. And I gave birth to the Outlaws. And they all blood relatives. Now I got a military, not mob like Italians, but mob like we've been mob orientated all our lives. Fuck that shit they be telling me about because everybody's saying because we choose to be organized now that we are emulating Italians and we should emulate Italians because they don't like us. Motherfuckers got it twisted. You know what I mean?
Right.
We got organization because we peak game. And it's not the mob really that we seeing, it's really the government. They the biggest mob. That's who we study. Governments. Just like me, they say this guy's Mr. Duplicity. He's always saying this good shit to the females, and he say ho and this and that. See, that's where you're wrong. First, you tell all the niggas, they tell him Too Short, but he never say nice shit. And they telling him he's a horrible person. I say one bad shit on one side, a good shit on the other side, and I'm Mr. Duplicity. What does the world want? They have to sit their politically correct ass down and figure out what it is they want, because they bullshit.
Do you read a lot?
All the time.
All the time.
I'm really into books. I'm
What's
into
your
the part.
favorite title?
Right now, I'm into Mastering the Art of War, The Art of War. I just found all these new books. Thoughts of a General, How to Win an Argument Every Time, The Buying of a President. What's that book I got? The Russian guy? Stalin. I got that. Christopher Darden book. You'll Never Work Again in Hollywood. Whatever that is, when they talking about people that slept together. I'm reading that. A lot of different things, but mostly shit on what built generals and what made countries and what I want to read what Clinton read. Because he does the same shit I do, but don't, get in trouble. All his homeboys commit suicide. He get caught with his pants down in the bathroom, and this nigga is still the president. I got women, marching outside my shows. This nigga is the fucking president. I'm 24, he's 40. What's his excuse?
Selena? You
Aside
respect Sadida?
Who?
Sadida?
Yeah, he's with us.
Yeah.
Aside from the fame, the money, what do you think you can offer someone in a relationship?
A woman, you mean?
Yeah.
I believe that, I always discuss this, I feel like I'm one of the old-fashioned type of guys, where as soon as I find me a woman that doesn't mind the fact that I want to be in charge, and that I believe that, just like with the yin and yang, there's a masculine and feminine, I believe in that in a relationship.
Right.
I believe that most of our problems as black people and as period and as people in general is that we've forgotten our roles. The men have forgotten their roles as men. Therefore, the women have forgotten their roles. And that's where we get all this duplicity in lovemaking and duplicity in sexuality, is because we've forgotten our roles and we're willing to settle for less. Not that they're not legitimate people who really do like this style, but a lot of it right now is just this niggas ain't shit. So I want some pussy. You know what I mean? And the niggas just being like, you know, these black bitches ain't shit and whoop, or these white bitches ain't shit and whooping. For me, I can't do that. I can't turn my love off for a woman, no matter if they send me to jail and they talk shit and they really do piss me off. But I still can't love a man. I still love women. I still get excited when they come in the room and all that. So I feel as though what I can offer is my viewpoint, who I am, and my style, my lifestyle. And that I believe in my heart that I'm a man's man. I'm a man's man. I made myself. I'm a millionaire by my own hands, you know what I mean? I fight for myself. I've been fighting for myself. I'm a struggler, a striver. I take care of my family. I take everything that you want, I do. You know what I mean? It's just that I'm real. So I'm not politically correct, but I'm still a man's man. And I believe in family values. So.
What type of woman would it take to get that?
A very, very, very strong woman, and one who was more in love with me than I was. Because I have to be more in love with her than she is. And that's what it is. Every time I fall in love with a woman, I don't fall in love with the woman she is. I fall in love with the woman that she could be. I haven't found a woman yet that fits up to my standards. And I'm sure I don't fit up to anybody's standards. But I haven't found one yet. But I found ones that I think that have the potential to be the rawest woman in the world. You know what I mean? I feel like it's natural for a man, especially being black, to feel like he's a king and he's looking for his queen. And that's where I'm at right now. You can't be a king until you've made yourself, until you've done something. And I've accomplished my goals. My goals are set it out to make me a man. Now I feel like I'm a man now. I set out goals to make me a king. Now I'm not a king of anybody else but me. You know, nobody else is under my rule but me and my kids. You know what I mean? But I made myself into a king. Now I need a queen to be happy so that I can be a teacher and a father. I can't be that until I find a queen. So I'm stuck in it.
Tell you what to do, what to get.
Hey man, bring my little homie home. He is not old enough to hang out with you. What? I was home. I went to the gas station to wait for y'all. Y'all kept going. So then I went behind you and kept going behind you. When I came behind you, you already went to your house. But I came up to my house, but you came. Huh? At your house. Oh, you did? You ain't see me turn around. You ain't see me turn around. Excuse me. Sit my little homie home. Put him in the cab or something. I'm doing that at 2 o'clock. Alright? Yeah. Yeah. What? The interview? Right. Yeah. Yeah. Out here too, though. I think on 106. So, can you send a nigga home? You want me to tell him that? I will tell him that. I'll put that in the interview. So, can you send him home? Huh? Come on, man. The batteries is running out. Cuz, man, we got some work to do. You know I got to go back to the movie set tomorrow. I don't got but today to work with they at. Yeah, I'm trying to rush the studio. So can you handle that for me, please? All right, stop bullshit, man. Put him in the cab. I know you smoking on your keys and you didn't even fucking cash, bro. But send a nigga home. All right? All right. Now he don't know how to drive. Don't give him no car. Just put him in the cab.
Let him drive.
Put him in the cab, man. Fuck.
Shout out.
This nigga crazy about can you drive?
Sit over here in the bed.
Yeah. Come on, man. Bye. That nigga crazy. Coughing all over the phone and shit. He trying to take Lou to Vegas. Nigga can't get no casinos. Nigga ain't but what, 12? Trying to see go to Vegas. Then I said, no, we going swimming. That nigga can't swim.
You gotta do some homework.
Like I said, the nigga got homework. Send him home. Because Fatal coming, then Moo gonna be gone.
No, we have to fun.
I know. You gotta come home now. Unless he take all y'all. That's how I'm one of them parents. You wanna take one of our kids out, take all of them to Vegas. Don't just take the cute little ones. Yeah, I'm working on one right now with Tim Raw and Tandy Newton called Gridlock.
Oh, when's it coming out?
It should be out in January, February. We're doing the soundtrack too.
Really?
Yeah.
You feel real positive about that?
Very, very positive. So great. It's going to be something totally different. Hopefully, this will do something for me. You know what I mean? It's a shaking. If nothing else, at best, it'll just prove I can show up on the set on time and still have an album that sell 5 million and doing my shit.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on that.
And still be pushing this. Thank you. And still be doing that. It can show just that we good, that I work hard, if nothing else, to show why I should not be in jail. Because in a little bit of time that I've been out, I've made these things to show that I don't need to be in jail. You know, you can still rehabilitate my ass right out here, you know, with everybody else. Because it's the money that rehabilitates me, not the jail.
Okay. What about father figures? Like, you don't hear much about, you speak about your mother a lot, not about your father. You have a relationship with him?
I thought my father was dead for all my life,
Really?
except after I got shot, I looked up and there was this nigga that looked dead on me, and he was my father, so I found out. We still ain't taking no blood tests, but I mean, the nigga looked like me, and then the other nigga is dead, so to me it's like I'm past the father thing, you know what I mean? But I do want to know him, and I do know him, we do talk, and he did help me while I was locked down, he did come visit me, and it's all love, but I'm past that.
Religion, what religion are you?
I'm the religion that, to me, is the realest religion there is. I believe in God. I try to pray to God every night as I pass out.
Right.
And I think that's, and to me, religion, my idea of religion is this. I think that if you, I learned this in jail, because I talked to every God there was in jail. I think that if you take one of the O's out of good, it's God. If you add a D to evil, it's the devil. I think some cool motherfuckers sat down a long time ago and said, let's figure out a way that we can control motherfuckers. And that's what they came up with, is the Bible. Because if the guy wrote the Bible, I'm sure it would have been a revised copy by now. You know what I mean? Because a lot of shit has changed. And I've been looking for this revised copy, and I don't see it. I still see that same old copy that they had from then. And I'm not disrespecting anybody's religion. Please forgive me if it comes off like that. I'm just stating my opinion. I feel like we get crucified. I mean, the Bible was telling us all these people did this because they suffered this much. That's what makes them special people. I got shot 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? And I got crucified to the media. You know what I mean? And I walked through with the thorns on. And I had shit thrown on me. And I had the thief at the top. I told that nigga I'll be back for you. You know what I mean? And trust me, this not supposed to be going down. I'll be back. So I'm not saying I'm Jesus, but I'm saying that we go through that type of thing every day. We don't part the Red Sea, but we walk through the hood without getting shot. You know what I mean? We don't turn water to wine, but we turn motherfucking dope fiends and dope heads into productive citizens into society. You know what I mean? We turn money. We turn words into money. You know what I mean? What greater gift can there be? So I believe God blesses us. I believe God blesses those that hustle, those that use their mind, and those that overall are righteous. I believe that your karma, everything that you do bad comes back to you. So anything that I'm doing that's bad, I'm going to have to suffer for. But in my heart, I think what I'm doing is right. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm going to heaven. You know what I mean? And I think heaven is just when you sleep with a good conscience. You don't have nightmares. And hell is when you sleep, the last thing you see is all the fucked up things you did in your life. And you just see it over and over again. Because you don't burn. Because if that's the case, it's hell on earth. Because bullets burn. You know what I mean? It's people that got burnt in fires. That means they went to hell already. You know what I mean? All that is here. So what else? What do you got there that we ain't seen here? What, you gonna walk around aimlessly, the zombie? Nigga, that's here. You ain't been on the streets lately? You know what I mean? What heaven is now. Look, we sitting up here, live big screen. It's heaven for the moment. You know what I mean? Hell is jail. I seen that one. Trust me, this is what's real. And all that other shit is to control you. If the churches took half the money that they was making and gave it back to the community, we'd be all right. If they take half the buildings that they use to praise God and gave it to motherfuckers who need God, we'd be all right. We be all right. Have you seen some of these goddamn churches lately? It's ones that take up the whole block in New York. It's homeless people out here. Why ain't God letting them stay there? Why these niggas got gold ceilings and shit? Why God need gold ceilings to talk to me? Why do God need colored windows to talk to me? Why God can't come where I'm at, where he sent me? If God wanted to talk to me in a pretty spot like that, why the hell he sent me here then? You know what I mean? That make ghetto kids not believe in God. Why? So that's a wrong religion. I believe in God. I believe God put us wherever we want to be at. Then it makes sense that God will put us in the ghetto. That means he wants us to work hard to get up out of here. That means he's testing us even more. That makes sense. It makes sense that if you're good in your heart, then you closer to God. But if you evil, then you close to the devil. That makes sense. I see that every day. All that other spooky shit don't make sense. And I don't even believe, I'm not dissing it, but I don't believe in the brothers. I was in jail with them and having conversations. Brothers, I'm God. If you God, open the gate for me.
Yeah.
You know how far the sun is and how far the moon is? How the hell do I pop this fucking gate and get me free up out of here? Then I'll be a 5% for life. Well, never seen it.
Hi, I'm Abby Kearse, and welcome to Tupac Shakur in his own words. During the next half hour, we're going to take a look back at some highlights from some of the many interviews we've conducted with Tupac over the course of his tragically short life and career. Tupac was only 25 years old when he was shot down on the main drag of Las Vegas on September 7, 1996. After attending the Mike Tyson-Bruce Seldon boxing match, he died a week later after succumbing to his injuries. The first time we ever spoke to Tupac was back in January of 1992, 2 months after the release of his first solo album, Tupacalypse Now, and 1 day before the release of the movie Juice, in which he made his acting debut. At the time, Tupac was still a member of the Oakland rap act Digital Underground. Although he hadn't yet adopted his thug life stance, he seemed clearly ready to conquer the entertainment industry, if not the world.
What can we expect from Tupac in '92?
Static. It's gonna be static for sure. Cause what the rap audience ain't ready for is a real person. You know what I want to say, a real N-I-G-G-A. I'm coming out, I'm 100% real, I ain't compromising Nathan. Anybody that talk about me got problems, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be straight up, like if I was a street person. That's how I'm coming at the whole world, and I'm being real about it, and I'm gonna grow with my music. The music I made now, my next album's gonna be better and more slamming. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, I'm gonna be even that much more potent next year, and I don't want no garbage. Anybody talk about me, anybody diss Digital Underground, they got problems, because we large and we all over the country. Anybody diss us, they're gonna get stomped. That's word is born, because this is money. So anybody try to take away Digital Underground's money as a whole, they got a problem. We're gonna suffocate them.
Man, what's your problem?
You my problem. People sweat us on the street, you don't even give a
I think you're exaggerating.
That's bullshit, man.
Do you think that, you know, after doing this, that you want to do more acting?
Yes. I like that people come to me and go, you did a good job. You know what I'm saying? When all my career usually has been, you know, you guys or this or that. You know, I was loving that somebody came and said, Tupac, you were a great actor. You know, you did a great part. So now I want to, you know, do that even more and do other parts. I want to do better parts. Like, I want to Terminator 2 role or something different so people can really see the diversity. Because even now, I think some people are going, well, wait a minute. That's just him being him. How hard is it to be crazy? You know, now I want to do something, you know, sane. Or I want to be in love or something so people can see the diversity of what I can do.
In July of 1993, Tupac began work on his second movie starring opposite Janet Jackson in director John Singleton's Poetic Justice. It's hard to imagine an odder pairing, Jackson, the pop music diva, and Tupac, one of hardcore rap's favorites. According to Tupac, life on the set was interesting at all times.
Why you always so mad? You must ain't got no man because you don't never smile. Do you?
What do you want from me?
Nothing. Think you kind of fly.
There's an article that talks a lot about the fact that when you were making the movie and there was going to be a love scene, Janet Jackson insisted that you have an AIDS test, and you said, forget it.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It's absolutely true.
It wasn't, I don't know if it was Janet that it came from, but I know that they suddenly, out of the blue, they wanted me to take an AIDS test for this love scene. And I did not agree, I did not disagree if we were really gonna make love. I said, if I could make love with Janet Jackson, I'd take 4 AIDS tests. But if I'm gonna do a love scene with her, just like somebody else did, and they didn't take a test, I'm not taking the test. Not only am I not taking the test, but get out of my trailer. You know, I was like, and they sent like 4 different people to ask me, like somebody else asked me. First they sent the producer, then they sent the black dude, then they sent John, then they sent the girl. You know, it don't matter who you send, I'm not taking one. It's just, to me, it was just like an insult, you know, just to ask me that.
Another thing that was written in this article was that, you know, you got on very well while you were making the movie, but then afterwards she changed her number. Is that true?
Yeah, it bothered me. I mean, I probably wasn't intentional. Everybody changed their number, but I mean, it was so. I really thought I made a friend. I thought it was, I know Janet Jackson for life. You know, so the movie was always like, boo, this number has been changed, and it was like a movie. I mean, it was like the day after the movie wrapped. I did like, I said, man, niggas like. And the last day I saw him, I saw Renee and saw her boyfriend. He's like, we're gonna go play the guns with the paint guns. We'll play paint guns. All right, I'm gonna call you. All right. This number's been changed. I said, oh, okay. So it was an act. Nah, but I think that's just, you know, whatever.
Poetic Justice wasn't much of a hit, but Tupac, with his intense big brown eyes and very capable acting abilities, proved he was a natural on the big screen. He went on to star in 3 more films, all of which were released after his death: the straight-to-video Bullet, the critically praised Gridlocked, and his last, Gang Related, which came out in October of 1997. When we return, we'll have more words from Tupac Shakur, including his views on the evolution of so-called gangster rap music. Don't go away. Welcome back to Tupac Shakur in his own words. By March of 1994, Tupac had become something of a household name. However, it wasn't so much for his music or film work as his increasingly high-profile run-ins with the law. I had a chance to interview Tupac the night before he was due to be sentenced for assaulting director Alan Hughes, who had fired him from the cast of Menace to Society. At this point, Tupac had become so notorious, he had attracted the attention of a woman with considerable notoriety herself. Madonna, who was interested in meeting with Tupac, sat in and watched this interview from off camera. What do you think you're most known for? Your acting, your music, or the controversy that surrounds you?
My big mouth. My big mouth. I got a big mouth. Can't help it. I talk from my heart. I'm real. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes, comes. But my controversy probably. And it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world. You know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learn, you know what I'm saying? I come back stronger. You know, I'm not talking ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So I obviously put thought into what I do. So I think my mouth, my controversy. I have not been out of the papers since I joined Digital Underground. I've been in all, you know what I'm saying? It's never, my name has not been not uttered, you know what I'm saying? And that's good for me because I don't want to be forgotten. If I'm forgotten, then that means I'm comfortable. And that means I think everything is okay.
One day I'm gonna bust, blow up on this society. Why did you lie to me? I couldn't find a trace of equality. Work me like a slave while they laid back. Homie, don't play that. It's time to let them suffer the payback. I'm trying to avoid visible contact. I can't hold back. It's time to attack, Jack. They got me trapped.
It's interesting how hip-hop, rap music in the beginning, or a song like Grandmaster Flash's The Message, where basically they were saying, you know, it's like a jungle sometimes. I wish, you know, I wonder how I keep from going under. The whole root of what that song was basically saying, look, these are the problems here. You know, and here we are 10 years or plus later. The problems are still there, and the intensity of the music has built to the no hope, the I don't give a attitude. How did we get from Grandmaster Flash, The Message, to where we are now in hip-hop?
Again, you have to be logical. You know, if I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day,
to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over I mean, just like throwing food around. But they're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day, I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is going to change to, we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, you know, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, you just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement. We was asking, you know, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're going to do? And we shouldn't be angry. And my raps that I'm rapping to my community shouldn't be filled with rage. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be filled with the same atrocities that they gave to me. In the media, they don't talk about it. So in my raps, I have to talk about it. And it just seems foreign because there's no one else talking about it.
Right. Well, playing devil's advocate, somebody might say, well, what does Tupac have? He's a movie star. He's got, you know, hit records. What does he have to complain about?
And I'm going to tell you. It's like being the last person alive. You know what I'm saying? After 3 days, you can't do anything. What can I do? Where can I go? There's no black neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, with black people who have the same amount of money as me. You know what I'm saying? There's richer and there's poorer. There's no just, you know, did a movie, got a little bit of money, living okay, black neighborhood. I have to be in a white neighborhood, so I don't fit in. That's hell. It's hell when you can't be around your peers. All my life I grew up around black people, poor people, but I can't live around poor people now because they'll rob me. And why would they rob me? Because they're starving, because there's no money here. But they're telling me, now that I made a little money, I have to move here. So it's not like no one's ever trying to deal with this section. They're just moving away from it. And we're going to have more stars coming from the ghetto, but they're gonna all move this way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto. They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies, to talk about boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be another I don't want to be 50 years old at a BET We Shall Overcome Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. You know, I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody's going to clean it up.
Still to come, a look at what has happened in the year plus since Tupac's death, and we'll have more from Tupac Shakur in his own words. Welcome back to Tupac Shakur in his own words. It's been over a year since Tupac's murder, and the case is still unsolved with no new leads according to Las Vegas police. However, the interest in Tupac's life and work still lives on. To help put in perspective what has gone on since Tupac's murder, we spoke with a close friend of his, Treach from Naughty by Nature. The two started hanging out back in the days when they both worked as roadies, Treach with Queen Latifah and Tupac with Digital Underground. Here's Chris Connolly with the recap.
No fairy tales for this young black male. Some see me stranded in this land of hell, jail and crack sailing. Just keep your head up.
We can feel where that man came from. His suffering and his pain is the same suffering and pain we going through.
I wish I had a chance to actually meet Tupac. His music meant a lot for our people.
In the years since the death of Tupac Shakur, the emotions his murder stirred up have quieted. But the debate over his legacy, who he was and who he might have become, has begun to rage. Was he a gangster who kept it real all the way to an early grave? A James Dean-style cultural rebel? Or was he, might he have become, a political voice for the dispossessed, in the tradition of Malcolm X? Only now are those questions starting to emerge, after a year in which, at least in the minds of many fans, Tupac was still very much alive.
look, y'all can watch. I feel so confident and so sure about the man that I am that you can watch me. You can watch me when I fall, when I cry, when I get shot, when I go to jail, when I die. You can watch it.
Maybe it was because everyone did watch, and because Tupac had spoken about death so frequently, that his murder seemed somehow both expected and unreal, just another chapter in his dramatic autobiography. 4 days after he died, Tupac's label, Death Row Records, released I Ain't Mad at Ya. That set the tone for a year in which release after release of Tupac's records, films, and videos showed Tupac in violent, even deadly situations, but never dealt with the reality of his brutal death. Rumors that he was still alive burgeoned in November, once fans got their hands on the cryptic notations inside the posthumously released Machiavelli album. Some even suggested that Tupac had taken the real Machiavelli's advice and faked his own death.
Right now, it's like he's the Black Elvis. You know what I mean? Yo, I seen Pop. He out there. He's somewhere.
I mean, you have an album with Machiavelli as at the heart of it, and Machiavelli faking your own death, and people ascribe, rightfully so, tremendous intelligence to Tupac. But I think what they're trying to do is avoid the fact that if you deal with bullets and guns and you get brutal, you die.
People in general who feel that gangster rap is dead. My album's finna show you that gangster rap is not dead, because I plan to keep it alive.
1 year ago, Death Row Records had a sound and a reputation unlike any contemporary record company, and Tupac was the label's newest and brightest star, willingly molded into the very epitome of the gangsta rapper. Without him, Snoop was again thrust to the forefront, but his long-awaited second album failed to make an impression, especially when released just a week after the hyper-vitriolic Machiavelli.
Still can't believe that you got Pac rushing you, up in you, that's the real. All the rest get killed, who can you trust? Only time reveals.
Meanwhile, the night that was the beginning of the end for Tupac may also have marked the beginning of the end for Death Row. Label head Suge Knight was sent to prison for a probation violation, thanks to a videotaped altercation just hours before the shooting. Federal investigators continued to probe Death Row's alleged gang ties and its illegitimate business practices, while the company's mighty stable of rappers was suddenly dwindling, turning what was once America's most profitable independent label into the music industry's most chaotic and unstable commodity in just 12 months.
If I die or whatever, it can happen. If anything would have happened to me, it's about 3 albums ready. And I like that.
When you think the end could be near, you're gonna want the people, you're gonna want the world to know everything that you got inside. That's why he stayed in the studio. He stayed making something new, because he had so much and a little time to tell.
Tupac left behind over 170 tracks and several hundred unpublished poems, but someone needs to cultivate that raw material into a legacy. With potentially lucrative tracks and substantial revenues yet to be earned from his image, there's been tremendous legal wrangling over his estate. Just 6 weeks after his death, Tupac's mother, Afeni Shakur, filed suit against Death Row Records to stop it from selling unlicensed Tupac merchandise. She would later file another suit against the label, charging that it was withholding millions in royalties from the Shakur estate. Death Row responded that Tupac actually owed the label money to repay cash advances it claimed he'd spent on cars and jewelry. Suddenly, it seemed as if everyone wanted a piece of Tupac, from his natural father, who had abandoned the family when he was 4 and now wanted half of his son's estate, to his chief cultural critic, C. Dolores Tucker, who claimed that just one reference to her in one of Tupac's songs was worth $10 million in damages.
As one other rapper, Houdini said, the freaks come out at night, and in the midst of the dark night of his soul, many people have come forth to claim this legacy who honestly just don't deserve it.
Essentially, we have 2 to 4 black males who are inside the vehicle, and we have no further description.
The Las Vegas police investigation into Tupac's murder never got much further. In March, MTV News reported that Shakur's murder had touched off a gang war in Compton, California, and that Compton police informants had heard that Orlando Anderson, the same man who was beaten by Knight and Shakur at the MGM Grand, was the triggerman in the Shakur killing. The day after our report aired, Anderson spoke briefly to CNN.
And I just want to let everybody know, I didn't do it.
Las Vegas police did briefly consider Anderson a suspect, but have since all but closed down their investigation, saying officially that they think they know who killed Tupac, but don't expect to get enough evidence to ever make an arrest.
Look, they could kill somebody else, they find a person the next day. You got 2 of the biggest hip-hoppers out there, don't nobody know nothing.
The March murder of the notorious B.I.G. was instantly and unavoidably compared with Tupac's murder 6 months earlier. Both were drive-by shootings after high-profile events, and both left police with few leads. Where Tupac's death sparked little public sentiment from his label mates, Biggie's friends rushed to memorialize their man in a public way.
First, I'd like to say I wish we never had to make this record, and I wish we never had to make this video, but that's our reality. And B.I.G. will never forget you.
That's how you supposed to put it down. Your homie go, you supposed to put it down for him. Keep his name on the streets. No doubt.
Sadly, it took a full year for the first major dedication to Tupac to hit the airwaves.
It's like the purpose behind this record, I really didn't see him sent off, you know what I mean, just right, the way I thought, you know what I mean?
You's a wild, hungry brother who could never sit still. Said you couldn't rest till you seen a mill. Homie, I felt you. We was back and forth from borough to projects with forts. Damn, I wish they knew how much you love New York.
Besides paying tribute, Treach and the other keepers of Tupac's flame hope that Tupac will be remembered as a communicator and not just an instigator.
People got to listen to Pac. There's so much that he said and was saying that just, that touched and like really hit emotions that a lot of us go through every day, no matter what you doing. No matter what you doing. Either you thought about it and ain't know how to say it, but when you hear it from him, you like, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that.
And many people have walked away with different views on Tupac. His music and life were filled with contradictions. On one record, he would praise women, on others defame them. He would voice his concerns about crime and violence in the inner city and later release a song such as Hit 'Em Up, glorifying it. In interviews, Tupac often seemed like a misguided young man searching for a father figure he said he's never had, proving his manhood to the world through anger and violence. Along the way, Tupac touched many with his music and made a lot of friends, as well as offending and crossing others. Whether you were a fan of Tupac's or not, there is no argument he was another young life cut down way too soon.
The last time we talked, you said that you were best known for your big mouth. What do you feel like you're best known for now?
Taking 5 bullets. That surviving. I'm known as a survivor now. I hope so. For the jail thing, bullets and everything, controversies and everything. I hope so. And I want to be in the future known as somebody, you know, I want people to be talking about me like, you know, look, remember when he was real bad? Remember when Tupac was real bad? You know what I mean? Everybody changes. Everybody becomes better people. You know, we all should get that chance. I just want my chance.
And where you go to school.
Are you rolling, Andy?
Okay.
Alright, that's okay. You can do this.
You dressed right for it.
And he said he's been a little chilly, so this is good for him.
Oh.
So somebody will enjoy the heat in here.
Okay. Anytime.
Okay, my name is Tupac Shakur, and I attend Tamalpais High School, and I'm 17 years old.
Okay. Do you like being 17?
And it's like 17 is such a weird age. It's such a in the middle age. You're not 18 yet, and you're older than 16. So. But I like it. It's nice. It's like a learning stage for me.
Do you wish you could be 18 and when you get some more rights?
Well, 18 will bring lots of responsibilities that I don't want, but it'll bring respect that I feel like that's the only way I can get it. You know, I try to be as mature as I can be and demand it wherever I can get it. But 18 is like, you're an adult. You like today when I had to sign the release form, I felt so bad because I couldn't sign it myself. I had to go and get my mother's and all that. But 18 it's just society's way of saying that you're ready. But 17, like, I think I'm ready now, as ready as I'm gonna be in this world. But so it's okay. I guess 17 is all right.
Do you think that you should be given more responsibilities, or that you have much more value than adults place on you because of your age?
Well, the way that my mother brought me up is no lies, no, total truth. Everything is real in society, everything. If something's going on wrong in the house, I know everything. So it was like I was given the responsibility before I wanted it. And so now I can't really differentiate what great responsibility is because I've had it for so long. So she taught me how to be ready for it. And so that's good, and I think it's good because I know that, and it's taught me that when you get out there, the responsibility is staggering, and I'm ready. I'm going to be a little more ready than someone who's grown up in Disney World, with Santa Claus is coming. And so, I think I'm growing up good, as in all sense of the word. I think I'm growing up and learning about responsibilities and everything.
What do you think is the hardest thing about being a kid or being your age?
The hardest thing about being my age is proving to society that I understand what's going on. Like, not everybody, but frequently, teenagers are stereotyped in being loud music loving, girl chasing, car wanting, not caring about the world, cokeheads, drinking coke and smoking and being drug addicts. And I mean, in some ways we are. I mean, I chase girls and want the car and loud music, but I like to think of myself as really being socially aware, and not just socially aware as being trendy, being peace, not that. I really think that that teenagers, they got a lot of responsibilities and a lot of burdens because, in fact, we're given a horrible world. We're given the gift that we're getting when we got to take over is horrible. They left us, they're leaving this world in bad shape for us to fix up. So I think that we deserve a lot of respect because, in the 60s, they changed a lot, and those teenagers were given respect because they changed a lot and they did a lot. We're given no respect, and we have to do a lot. I mean, the world, ain't no secret, but the world is in bad shape. So we have to do a lot. We have to do a lot of good things. So I think we deserve a little bit more respect.
And why do you think it is that adults don't give you the respect you deserve?
Fear. They're scared. They're scared of watching us grow up. They're scared that when we get the power or responsibilities that we won't be able to handle it. And they're scared that well, I don't think, in this generation, I don't think that a lot of adults put enough into their children. I'm glad my mother did, but I don't think that a lot of children are growing up lost in the sauce. And I think that they're scared because they're realizing it now that, I didn't teach him this, I didn't teach him that. Where did they learn it? Look at unsafe sex and drugs. You could tell, if you look at the statistics, they're staggering again, And so I think they're scared because they're realizing that they goofed. They really messed up. And also, they fear teenagers are angry. At least this generation seems a little angrier to me and a little bit more rebellious and uninvolved. So they're scared because they're realizing that, what's going to happen when we get all these people empowered. But also just because it's human nature to be scared to watch a child grow up, and you don't want to give him that yet.
Well, what do you see as some of the major differences between being a kid or being an adult?
It was funny. Being a kid, like my little cousin, Hiroji, he's 3, and everything to him is happy. The only thing that makes him unhappy is when things are over, when you turn something off, and when the television goes off, when it's time to go to bed, or when he has to come in the house. Everything is over. That's bad, And when you're an adult, when something is over, that's like, it's the opposite, When it's over, it's good, you just, I'm off work, it's over, vacation, it's over. God, she's out of the house. My children in college, it's over. Oh my God. And so it's that difference. And children see things so great. If the world could, what happens is that adults complicate things and children don't. As simple as this, the sky is blue. And adults, when they go, the sky is blue. Why is it blue? Because birds and bees and everything wasn't meant to be analyzed. And that's where a lot of problems came in, I think. And that's where I think kids are happier. Kids are definitely happier and more relaxed than adults.
Do you think if parents or adults had happier childhoods, they would be better off when they grow up? I mean, like, a lot of people say if you have a troubled childhood, you lack self-esteem when you grow up.
No, actually, I think it's, well, okay, from my mother's point, well, if you grew up happy, too happy, you know, like in fairy tale land, not fairy tale, I mean, if you grew up where, you know, every Christmas you got a present and every birthday you got a present and every holiday was a holiday and everything was peachy, your parents took care of everything and you just grew up. I don't think that prepares you for the world. You know, my mother had a really bad childhood and my father had a bad childhood and I had a bad childhood, but I love my childhood. Even though it was bad, I love it. I feel like it's taught me so much. And I feel like nothing can faze me. You know, nothing in this world, nothing can surprise me. It might set me back, but only momentarily, only to spring back. And I think it's helped me to learn. It really did help me to learn. And since my mother had a bad childhood, she knows the importance of being honest and the importance of facing each situation as it comes and not dealing in a fairy tale land. Being realistic about the problem and analyzing it and solving it. See what you can do to solve it. So if you have a happy childhood, you tend to want your child to have a happy childhood. So you tend to want to keep the bad things out. And I don't think that's good because you don't prepare them for the world.
So basically, you have to be realistic with your kids.
Right, you definitely have to be realistic. You should tell them.
Wrong.
But don't get the wrong idea. I feel like I'm being gloomy. I don't mean just be like, damn it, it's bad out there. But I mean, when the good things come, and they are going to come, and everybody knows that. Good things are going to come, and you're going to see them for yourself. You're going to see that they're good. But it's harder to see the bad things, and everybody wants to shield the bad things, and that's where it gets complicated and it gets real rotten. That's when everybody gets surprised and, oh my God, I'm committing suicide. That's too much, overwhelming. If you know about it, it won't be so overwhelming. You know, so that's what I think about that.
So how do you keep so positive? You say that you had a problem childhood, but yet you seem like you've gotten above that.
Is that, you know, like if you are lost in the wilderness and you have a guide, then it's not like being lost. It's like learning new things as you go through. So when you finally get through, you forgot where you were going to. You just want to talk about the path that you just went. And that's how I feel. Like life, my childhood was just totally lost at first because, okay, I got to go to the beginning. My mother was a Black Panther, and she was really involved in the movement, you know, just Black people bettering themselves and things like that. My father was a hustler, street hustler, you know. I think he, you know, sold drugs and everything. And how did they get together is beyond me. But he just saw her as a woman doing something, and like, you know. But so my mother and father both had bad childhoods, and I never knew who my father was. I met him, but he died, and that was horrible. But got over that. My mother it's like she actually did take me through life. You know, when I discovered something, first I rebelled against her because she was in the movement and we never spent time together because she was always speaking and going to colleges and everything. And then after that was over, it was more time spent with me and we were both just like, you're my mother, and she was like, you're my son, and what do we do? So then she was really close with me and really strict almost. But now I can see how it paid off because, like, I can talk to my mother about drugs, I can talk to my mother about sex, anything. I can ask her anything and bring it up, and she'll go, okay, well, this is, and I can say, Ma, I'm really curious about this drug. And she'll go, I did it, and this is what happened, and I don't think you should.
I mean, do you think other kids can talk to their parents as easily as you can to yours?
No, I don't think so. Because I speak to my friends, and they're baffled. They're like, like my friends can call my mother by her first name. That's a small thing, but it's a big thing to them because they could just come in the house and go, how you doing, Faye? And this is what happened at school, is because she speaks to them. She gives teenagers the respect they deserve unless they show that they're not worthy of that respect. And they like that. They really do like that. And they react well. That's why I have that philosophy about respect. Because my mother she's totally brilliant, totally understanding and caring. And she's human. I mean, she has mistakes and we have our little tiffs, but I understand them so much. I mean, she'll be wrong a lot, and we can talk about it. So, but a lot of kids can't talk to their parents about drugs because their parents don't trust them to make the decision, so they make the decision for them. And a lot of kids can't talk to their parents about sex because they don't trust them. They think, oh, he's talking about sex, he's out there doing it. So they don't trust them in that, you know? So, plus their parents are just like beat red as soon as you bring up the word fornication. But my mother's totally just, I was scared at first, but I just brought it up one day and we spent hours talking about drugs, sex, and society, and 60s and 70s and 30s and everything. And we just get along really good.
So you consider her like a good friend?
Yeah, a really good friend. But she's still my mother. I mean, like last night I came home at 2:30 and she went, you can't come home that late anymore. And I was like, it's the weekend. We had an argument about that. But also it's things that, you know, like, I mean, we talk about things, you know, do you think you should be punished? And I explain it to her, and I really get to talk to her. So she's my guide through life. So I'm really enjoying myself, but it's just that everybody doesn't think like us. So society, I mean, poverty it's no joke. Being poor and having this philosophy is worse because, you know, if money was nothing, if there was no money and everything depended on your moral standards and the way that you behaved and the way that you treated people, we'd be millionaires. We'd be rich. But since it's not like that, then we're stone broke. We're just poor because our ideals always get in the way. Since we're not yup people, and we're always, wait a minute, let me think about that, then people tend to go, nope, I guess I don't want you for the job, and I guess you just won't, you know? And so that's the only thing that I'm bitter about, is growing up poor because I missed out on a lot of things. Still growing up poor, you know, I miss out on a lot of things, and I can't always have what I want or even things that I think I need. So I missed a lot of things like that. But I know rich people or people just well off who are lost. So I feel like my mother made a lot of decisions in her life, and that's what we always say. She could have chose to go to college and got a degree in something and right now been well off, but she chose to analyze society and fight and do things better. So this is the payoff. And she always tells me that the payoff to her is that me and my sister grew up good and we have good minds and everything, and we're ready for society. But we just didn't have money and we didn't have the things like that. So that's the only bad thing, I think, is poverty. If I hated anything, it'd be that.
What do you think is one of the most important things that your mother taught you?
My mother taught me 3 things: respect, knowledge, search for knowledge. It's an eternal journey. That's like my haircut, the line. 360 degrees, find knowledge, always. And she taught me to not be quiet. If there's something in my mind, speak it. That's what that was the breath. She always taught, but also to listen. And she told me this little joke that God gave you 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to speak. 2 ears and 1 mouth, common sense. 1 mouth, you should speak, but you should also listen. And that's where the knowledge comes from, listening. And once you get the knowledge, then you can speak. And it helps you. So she taught me respect, knowledge, and understanding, mostly, you know, just listen a lot.
Do you think more parents should listen to their kids more?
Definitely. Oh, definitely. Definitely. But not being a yup parent, like yup people, you know, just not being, oh, yes, dear, I understand. Yes, you can go to the party. That doesn't help. Those produce even worse kids because it produces ambitious but unready children, you know, and those where our martyrs come from, you know. So I think they should listen but analyze what they're saying. Just don't push them through the path and don't hold them from going to the path, but help them through the path. That's what I think should happen.
Right. Well, how do you think you're most like your mom?
I'm most like my mom because I'm arrogant. totally arrogant. I agree. I have to say it. Like at work, I can't hold a job. I just quit my job today, actually, because I wanted to come and do this. And they wouldn't let me. And I felt like it was important, and it was more important than serving pizza. And we had enough people, so I felt like since I'm an actor, they should understand. They should have let me do it, but they didn't. And then I had a cold, so they were making me work in a freezer. And I'm really not one to be disrespected, and I felt like that was disrespectful because I asked to go, you know. So I quit, and he told me I couldn't quit, and that even made me hyper. I'm arrogant, so when he told me I couldn't quit and we had all these customers, I chose that time to jump on a soapbox, grab my leather jacket, light a cigarette in front of him, smoke, and leave in the middle of a rush. So that was natural. That's arrogance at the top. That's what I think I'm most like my mother, and she likes it. She'll see it in me and know it. And we clash a lot because I'm arrogant, she's arrogant, and you should see us when we get in our little attitude moods. It's like husband and wife, or it's brother and sister, but it's father, mother, and it's really father, mother, and son. She's my father and mother. So, yeah, we getting our tips and everything, but it's good.
That's a great story.
That's why my pizza took so long.
It was you.
It was me, I admit it.
Okay, well, you were saying how much you like her. How are you most unlike her?
I'm most unlike my mother because, that's a crazy question. Well, since my mother went through the 60s and everything, she's more of a, let me think about this first, then do it. Because I know about how that happens. And I'm more like of, if you get me hyped, I'm a dangerous weapon. If I'm hyper, I mean, even for, not like violent like, but if I'm hyper to run basketball and I have to go to work, I'll be there late. If I'm hyper to do something, I can't concentrate. And my mother can really concentrate. And like in school, as much as I talk about needing education and everything, I goof in school every year. It's just I can't help it. I like popularity and I like being around people, and I just like, you know, talking and everything. And my mother's more of a get this done and then do that. So that's what we're not alike, you know, and I trust people more and I'm more open. And since she's been through those things, she's more weary of trusting people, but she does trust people. But I'm just totally just like, oh, okay, you're my friend now, you know. But we're more alike than we are unlike. That's really weird.
Well, you say you goof around a lot in school. Do you feel you're learning enough, or do you feel they could be doing a better job of teaching you things?
Well, I hope I don't get in trouble, but school is, I think that we got so caught up in school being a tradition that we stopped using it as a learning tool, which it should be. Like, up to this day, I mean, school should be, I think there should be a different curriculum in each and every, like, neighborhood, you know? Because I'm going to Tamalpais High, and I'm learning about the basics, but they're not basic for me, you know? And it's like, they're not, to get us ready for today's world, that's not helping. It's just what they took, so it's what we're gonna take, you know? And that's why the streets have taught me. And but school is really important, reading, writing, arithmetic. But I think after you learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, that's it. But what they tend to do is teach you reading, writing, and arithmetic, then teach you reading and writing and arithmetic again, then again, just making it harder and harder, just so, to keep you busy. And that's where I think they messed up. There should be a class on drugs. It should be a class on sex education, a real sex education class, not just pictures and diaphragms and unlogical terms and things like that. There should be a drug class. There should be sex education. There should be a class on scams. There should be a class on religious cults. There should be a class on police brutality. There should be a class on apartheid. There should be a class on racism in America. There should be a class on why people are hungry, but they're not. Their class is on gym. You know, physical education. Let's learn volleyball, because one day we're gonna, you know, it's their class is like algebra, where I've yet to go to a store and said, can I have X, Y plus 2 and give me my Y change back? Thank you. You know, I think you could let me out. I've lived alone by myself, and the things that helped me were the things that I learned from my mother and from the streets. And reading has helped me. I mean, school has taught me reading, which is I love. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's it. Like foreign languages.
I think they're important, but I don't think it should be required. Because actually they should be teaching you English and then teaching you how to understand double talk, politicians double talk, not teaching you how to understand French and Spanish and German. When am I going to Germany? I can't afford to pay my rent in America. How am I going to Germany? You know, this is what I mean by the basics and not the basics for me. And I think that it should be like college. You can go and take the classes that you want. And I think that like elementary school should be that way, where they give you the classes you should take for the basics, and then junior high school and high school should be the classes that you need in order to choose your path.
So do you feel like schools are not really listening to the kids' needs? Or
Definitely not.
Needs?
Definitely not.
It's just kind of a place where you go to, but it's become such a tradition. They're not
Yeah.
even concerned if you're learning. It's just something you have to do.
It's just a place you go during the day to keep you busy while they're at work. While they're at work, that's exactly what it is.
Are you ready to work now? Are you ready to get like a regular job, or do you?
Yeah, I've actually been working already. You know, like I've been going to school during the day, then I work 8 hours at the pizza place, then go home. And if isn't it like 40-hour a week? That's what adults work, right? And that's what I'm working, 40 hours a week. I'm still not getting the respect that adults get, you know, but I don't want to keep saying like I'm worried about respect and fame and all of that. I'm just saying that, I mean, ancient civilizations have survived without going to schools like this. I mean, they've learned from their parents. We're not being taught to deal with the world as it is. We're being taught to deal with this fairyland, which we're not even living in anymore. And it's sad, because I'm telling you, and it should not be me telling you. It should be common knowledge. Aren't they wondering why death rates are going up and suicide is going up and drug abuse? Aren't they wondering? Don't they understand that more more kids are being handed crack than they're being handed diplomas? I mean, okay, in school we're learning to analyze, and then, well, I learned it, now they should relearn it. I think adults should go through school again. You know, I think that rich people should live like poor people, and poor people should live like rich people, and it should change every week. And we'll have the best rounded people, we'll be able to deal with people. Everywhere. Look at civilizations, look how we grew. You know, and I think we need to learn from our mistakes and stop just going through emotions, which we're doing now. It's like we're waiting for some big button to be pushed or something like that.
Can you do anything about that, Tupac? I mean, what can you do when you grow up, right?
Okay.
That you can make a difference in this?
Well, as it is, and it's honestly, I feel this way, but society is like, it's like, you know those little things they have for the mice where they go through around a circle and there's little blocks for it and everything? Well, society is like that. They'll let you go as far as you want, but as soon as you start asking too many questions and you're ready to change, boom, their block will come. And for me, and I hope this doesn't start anything, but for me, since living in a slummish area and I'm black, mines will come through being a statistic. You know, I'll get caught up in all of this, and one day I'll be with my friends and they'll go, let's go out party. We don't have a car. Let's steal a car. Forget it. You know, let's just borrow a car. We'll steal a car and I'll go to jail for 16 years and come out and be bitter. Knowing all of this, saying all of this, but be bitter, you know? And it should be, like the past elections, watching Jesse Jackson run and watching Dukakis run. Those two people, Jesse Jackson and Dukakis, two people who I thought were gonna, there it is. I said, all right, finally we're gonna get a better America. But what happened? Bush won. I couldn't believe it, because every time I ask people, who would you have voted for? And everybody goes, Dukakis. But how did Bush win? I keep wondering. And then that just makes me rebel more against society, because it's supposed to represent the people. I don't want Bush in government. I spent 8 years of my 17 years on this earth under Republicans, under Ronald Reagan, under an ex-actor who lies to the people, who steals money, and who's done nothing at all for me. And I don't think Bush is a bad person or a bad president, because for the upper class, he's a perfect president. And that's how society is built. The upper class run it while we talk about it. I mean, the middle class and lower class, we talk about it. And for the working class, we're just lost. We're going through the motions. We're the worker bees. And they get to live like royalty.
You think when you're talking about classes, do you think children or kids are sometimes considered a lower class?
Yeah, I think so. But they're even even with children, there are classes. Like even at TAM, there's the lower Marin City class. There's the low white class, the lower white class. There's the middle class white class and the middle class black class, and there's the middle class. There's the upper class white and upper class black, and that's a shame that it has to be cut in so many pieces, because it all boils down to this one piece of money. That how can this is a big question, and no one's been able to answer it, and this is staggering. How can Reagan live in the White House, which has a lot of rooms, and there'd be homelessness? And he's talking about helping homelessness. This is what I mean about practicality. All right, if there's someone homeless in Washington, D.C., if there's homelessness, and he has the White House, which has 1,000 rooms, why can't he take some of them people off the street and put them in his White House? Because he doesn't want to get dirty. The White House would be a little tainted, and when his rich people from Jamaica and everything comes to see him, they'll be, oh, these people, you know? And that's dumb. He wants to build houses and everything. Let him stay in the White House. All those rooms are not being used. Then he'll have people from the streets to help him make with his ideas. I mean, these people that are homeless have done things. They haven't been homeless forever. They've done things in society. They've done things. They've had jobs before, and they've done things. They've worked hard. There should be an automatic. They get a house somewhere and live comfortably. There are things they can do, you know, and I think that's wrong. I think that's really bad.
You're very interesting stuff, but you're also entertaining at the same time.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Like you're in the right field, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it's very insightful, but it's also like we're getting a kick out of watching.
What? Give me you like last year you were in New York?
Yeah.
Where?
No, last year I was in Baltimore. Year before that I was I spent 3 years in Baltimore, my high school years, going to the School of Performing Arts. Then, before that, I was in New York. That's where I grew up. That was my total growing up part. We moved out of New York because because of my mother's choices, you know, and she couldn't keep her job because of her choices, because it was too much. Yeah, no, she was calm now. I mean, it was totally calm, but it was like they figured out who she was, and she couldn't keep a job. That should be illegal. So she lost her job, and of course, we were like stranded in New York. And yeah, so we stranded in New York. So we moved to Baltimore, which was total ignorance town to me, because, okay, it was just like, I mean, in Baltimore, it's just ignorant. It gets me upset to talk about it. Baltimore has the highest rate of teenage pregnancy, the highest rate of AIDS within the black community, the highest rate of teens killing teens, and the highest rate of teenage suicide, and the highest rate of blacks killing blacks in Baltimore, Maryland. And this is where we chose to live. So as soon as I got there, being the person I am, I said, no, I'm changing this. So I started a Stop the Killing campaign, and safe sex campaign, and AIDS prevention campaign, and everything. And then I came back, and I felt like I did a lot of good. I did good things and everything. Came back. The second week I was in California, I got a call, and 2 of my friends were shot dead in the head. 2 of the friends that were working with me shot dead in the head. And it's just like, why try? Because this is what happens. But I still try, you know? And I came to California to escape that violence that I escaped New York for. Then I went to Baltimore, escaped Baltimore for, came to California. Come to Marin City, and there's skinheads violence. There's racial violence, which I deplore. I can't stand racism in any form, shape, or color. I can't stand it. So what I did was I talked to people and everything, and what happened was TAM is really integrated. So there was a party, and it just happened there was a white girls party, and everybody goes. It doesn't matter. And there's racism, but it's not like that. You know, we understand each other, and we're children, and we're able to talk to each other about it. So everybody went to this party, and I was working, and I was going to go to the party right after I got off work, me and my friends. So we got off work, we're on our way to the party, we're laughing and joking, just going through, and we see our friend Jonas, who's white, and he's telling us there was a fight at the party. And I was like, what happened? He said the skinheads came and called the black people niggas and made them, said they had to leave, and of course there was fight. I was like, oh my God. So we were sitting there, they went home, we were sitting there talking and everything, and my friends just like, this couldn't happen in the 60s, you know, let's figure out what to do. And he just said, I know, we'll start the Black Panthers again. So we're starting the Black Panthers, but we're doing it more to fit our views, you know, less violent and more silent, you know, more knowledge to help. You know, what we really want to do is get the pride back in the Black community, because I feel like if you can't respect yourself, then you can't respect your race, then you can't respect another's race, then you can't respect, you know, it just has to do with respect, like my mother taught me. So what we're doing is starting the Black Panthers again in Marin City, just getting first teaching pride, and then teaching education, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And also as a defense mechanism for the skinheads, because that's wrong, and I hate to feel helpless. And so skinheads hate Black people, and I'm gonna be there. I have this vision of just us growing and them decreasing, because that's how knowledge works. It's contagious, you know. And so, if there was war and peace, peace wins out. So I just want to form it and let it work. And I know the skinheads are gonna go like this. So, and I want to take, you know, I just want to learn from my mistakes. And I'm talking to a lot of the ex-members of the Panthers from the 60s, and they're helping me because they're less violent. They're, you know, they've learned. So, and they did a lot of good things in the past, and we can do a lot of good things. So since my mother was an ex-Panther, and talking to Geronimo Pratt and a lot of ex-Minister of Defenses and everything, so we're going to do a lot of good. I feel like we're going to do a lot of good. I don't know. I know as soon as I walk out, I'll go, oh, God, I should have said that. But just to end the importance of growing up just growing up in America. I loved my childhood, but I hated growing up poor, and it made me very bitter. You know, it's like, all right, now I got a job. I quit now. I had a job. And just today I got paid, and I have money in my pocket that I worked for, and that the greatest feeling, you know, that I worked for. I'm just getting a job, and I'm working and everything, and that feels good. But I'm still poor, you know. My family is still poor. I'm still living in a poor neighborhood. You know, I still see people poor. I still see things that, like, society, this is supposed to be a melting pot, but no one's learning from the other's mistake. And that's where the tragedy comes, because if we were all open and everything, we would learn from, like, in Marin City, I've seen already deaths. I mean, this lady slashed a man's throat because he spit on her kids, and I've seen teenagers fighting last night over girls, and I've seen guys speak to women with this much respect, and I deplore that. My mother is just totally, I grew up, my mother raised me, so I have this much respect for women, and I fight often because of that. And it gives me a lot of friends. I mean, I get a lot of friends, but I get a lot of friends because I have respect for women, ultra respect for women. But then, like, I was liking this girl in Tam, and I'm extra nice, you know, extra gentleman. I'm extra just like, oh, you're beautiful and you deserve the best. And she told me I was too nice. I couldn't believe it. It wouldn't work because I was too nice. That was the ultimate stab in the back. So I went through a week of just going, forget it, I'm just gonna be like them. Because they seem to get the girls, and they call girls the B word, you know, and they smack and beat, and they're getting girls, and I'm going, peace, and I think you're beautiful, and they're going to me, well, I like him because he's masculine. I'm masculine. I mean, and with the guys, and like yesterday he was cursing, and I was like, don't curse, and he got mad at me because I told him not to curse. But my plan is that if I keep telling girls not to let them call you these names, and if I keep saying it, it's gonna catch on, because the girls won't allow them to be their boyfriend, that they're gonna speak to them like that, and they're gonna want me. So in order to not get them to go with me, they're gonna have to change, and that's how they change. So I'll be the scapegoat, no problem, as long as it changes. So yeah, so I think it's gonna work. I think it'll work out and everything. But I always wanted to make a book out of my life, like a fairy tale.
Wow,
Raised by the Black Panthers and strung out. So.
Yeah, I think we can stop tape. Okay. Stop tape, Annie? Great. Heat.
I just want to say that if I curse, forgive me. But we curse. We got God out here, and ain't no way I'm going to sit up here and let the truth be told and not curse. So they told me to watch my language. Fuck that. So y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me, because y'all heard curses, and it's bad out here, and it ain't pretty, so, you know, shit, let's be real. That's number one. My English is bad. I'm a high school dropout. You know, it's going to be real. I'm going to be talking like real shop, but I'm going to be talking from my heart. Ain't nothing written down. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. So y'all got to feel me. We talking in slang, so, you know, some of y'all might get lost. I'm sorry, but I'm going to just do what I got to do. And then check this out. When I say I'm losing it, I mean I'm losing. I mean that for real. This ain't no free speech. This shit ain't like just to make it sound good. So I get y'all into it. This ain't to make it so, ooh, he felt that. I'm losing it. You feel me? I know y'all can pick up the papers and see that man got problems. And I do, but we all got problems. And mine is by my motherfucking self. You know what I'm saying? He did tell y'all about my mama and the Panthers and all that. But let me tell you where I ended up, y'all. Let me tell you where I ended up. My mama was a crack addict. I ended up in Baltimore on welfare with no lights on in high school. So we got to really watch this struggle shit. If we gonna struggle, we gotta struggle every motherfucking day till this shit is over. Let them know, bro. You know? Fuck that. All that shit that went on in the 60s ain't finna happen in this motherfucker. I'll be dropping some of you motherfuckers who need some babies beyond this year. Trust me when I tell you that shit. Cause goddamn it, I'm losing. And the only reason I'm losing is because I never had a daddy. I never had nobody to sit me down and tell me this. You know what I'm saying? They told me, but I didn't believe it because they left my mama cracked. I'm telling y'all the truth, as much as you heard me, cracked out, homeless, no life in Baltimore. And my mother put motherfucking work in. Do you hear me? My mama was a gun-packing, what I'm talking about for you motherfuckers, excuse me, but my mama put in work. You know, to be laying up in a room cracked out, I got disdain for a lot of motherfuckers. You feel me? And that's why I'm telling y'all, I got to be serious. If we gonna struggle, the struggle got to come from our heart. It can't come because we looking to it from a king back then. It got to come because I'm looking at you and you look goddamn it good to me and you my sister. And I ain't gonna let none of these crackers take me down. You feel me? It got to come like that. It got to come from my heart. It's like that. It's like that. It's hard out here. Like they say we got war, and in war, everything is good. It's all good. You feel me? And when I say thug life, I mean that shit. Because these white folks see us as thugs. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if you think you a lawyer, if you a man, if you an African American, if you whatever the fuck you think you are. We thugs and niggas to these motherfuckers. You know? And until we own some shit, I'ma call it like it is. How you gonna be a man and we starve? You know? And you can walk by 5 different houses and a man in either one of them motherfuckers. How we gonna be a man? How we gonna be African American? We out here done. We done and we niggas until we set this straight, this shit right. We gonna stay thugs. You know? And that's real, man. It's like a motherfucker, I have nightmares. I mean this shit. I'm dead serious. And whoever I heard, I apologize. But I have nightmares, y'all. I swear to God. Shit changed me. I used to be a cool mother. I used to be cool. I used to be happy. I used to talk good. I used to talk without cursing. I used to walk, you know. But goddamn, they done took Latasha. They done took Yusef. They taking out niggas younger than me, man. And we ain't doing shit. Nobody Hutton died 17 years fucking old. When we 17, you know what we doing? Killing each other. You know that shit kills me, man. Little Natasha got a bullet on motherfucking back and ain't there one of y'all do a motherfucking thing. What's wrong with you, man? Fucking losing down here. This shit grieves me. Only reason I came is so I could curse at y'all and get y'all in the right motherfucking track. You dying. We are dying. That's real. We ain't got time for nothing except war. And I don't care how you got to be at war, you need to put yourself in that mind state so we can be there. If I got to thug to be at war, I'm going to be thugging. If you got to be a Muslim to be at war, be a Muslim, but be at motherfucking war, and let's go fucking shoulder to shoulder and start doing something. We can't do but so much marching, y'all. And I know y'all think it's right, but we can't. They not think we've been marching for damn near 100 years. We are marching on the anniversary of when we marched 25 years ago. like this. And they wonder why I went around calling myself a thug and a thug for life. Because we by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I got my ass beat by 2 white police officers, man, and it shook my whole world. I was a rapper. I had just did Juice. Even though I was very progressive, my family been paying. I was really about just getting out there making some money. I had enough of poverty. I thought I made it. I thought I made it. I swear to God, I thought I made it. I felt good about myself. I felt good like I did something, like I was a part of this society, you know? And I always wanted to think for myself. And I said, okay, I'm here. I didn't get a move. I want to scream. I'm rapping. I'm trying. I got money in my pocket. I got a bank account. I'm going to the bank. You know, I swear to God, on my mama, 2 police officers stopped me. What's your name? Tupac Shakur. Go ahead, bro. They start laughing. What kind of name is that? Shit. What's your name? John. What fucking kind of name is that? You feel me? But I was wrong because these 2 niggas had guns. These 2 cops had guns and sticks and attitudes. So it so happened I jaywalked. I swear to y'all, I didn't even know what jaywalking was. I swear, I thought he meant that I was bopping. You know, like walking. I thought when he said they stopped, 2 cops stopped me in front of my bank, hands up, talking about the whole routine for jaywalking. Not for coming out of the car with a gun. I wasn't strapped at all then. Now, I swear to God, you're going to find me strapped like a motherfucker and ready to shoot. And today I'm on this podium, tomorrow I could be in the fucking Times. Because they going to have me. And y'all need to protect me, and you need to protect your damn self. We can't do nothing, speeches, books, rifles, Kinsey cloth, X-hats, potato chips, none of that shit. You need a motherfucking Mini 14 or an M16 or something. You need to start getting over some of these motherfucking crap. Because we done. We done. We can't be kings and queens till we still living. Do you feel me? I moved to Los Angeles. You know, and the reason I moved to Los Angeles, because I want to be where the niggas is kicking up dust at. You know? I don't want to be where these motherfuckers is building houses and think we got a part of this society. I want to be where niggas is kicking up dust at. So what if they got gangs, goddammit? They got gangs, but they kicking up dust. What are we doing? Go ahead, Pop. What are we doing? I know y'all tripping off because it's like, but on the real, all bullshit aside, on the real though, it's like, we really ain't got no choice, you know? Even though I know how you feel, I feel the same way. That's why I'm so angry. That's why I curse so much, you know? Because I feel like it ain't right. It ain't right that I'm 22 and this is the life I gotta live, you know? It ain't right that I gotta be, I'm like a fucking bag, you know? I wake up, man, sweaty, man, talking about Natasha. What the fuck is going on? Tell me why he beat my ass, why police just beat the shit out of me. I woke up unconscious, man. My face all cut up with Jay motherfucking walking. That shit just shook me. I'll never be right again, I'm losing it. You feel me? And I'm out here rapping, I'm not even a cook. You know, a so-called cook. I'm out here rapping. What the hell's going on? I'm no record, no nothing. As soon as I started rapping, this is what made me see we at war. As soon as I started rapping, as soon as I start talking that shit about they got me trapped, soldier story, I don't give a fuck. It's like I got cops coming from everywhere. You know, I got cases coming from everywhere, man. People that's supposed to be my king, queen. She just told the police I beat her up. I didn't even touch her. You feel me? This what I'm doing. I'm losing it. That's what I'm telling y'all. I'm losing it. It ain't all cool. So when you see me in the paper, you're going, damn, man, what's wrong with him? You know, hey, it's hard out there. It's hard out there, and it's even harder for a nigga by himself. When I go home by my motherfucking self. When I close the door, it's by my motherfucking self. You feel me? It's time for some soldier shit. You know, from the females and from the males. That's real. And it's time for the women. I'm not blaming on you, I'm not putting you in your corner, but you have so much you don't know. You have so much power over us niggas. You run shit, but you just don't know. And it's a game. I know the man, I'm gonna hit y'all to the game. When a nigga sees that you'll do anything for him, he's gonna run you. But if you keep your principles, if you stay your ground, you know what you want out of that nigga, you push that or leave that. Trust me, it ain't no shortage of young black men. If you think, you know, that's how we gotta handle that. You know, we gotta handle that shit. We got to be more like down for each other. You know, I know we're not supposed to use the term gangster bitch, but damn. We got to be down for each other, you know? We got to be soldiers, man. They gonna be writing about us in 20 years, you know? It's that time, y'all. It's that time. It's the 90s. Do you know what the 90s is upside down? The fucking 60s. You know what I'm saying? We gonna turn this shit upside down all over again. And we the ones that got the power to do it. Did you see what happened on April 29th? Y'all ain't see that shit on the news and shit? They probably was, hey, this fucking shit up in LA. I was there. I was filming a movie getting paid G's, but that night, I was there. I was in the streets with my folks. Niggas had their, I don't care what they say about gangbangs in LA. Niggas had their motherfucking dogs up and it was all good. Whatever say, I'm telling you, man, this is the sight I'm keeping this picture I'm keeping in my mind till it happen again. Because I've seen it for myself and I know it can happen. And all my life, I never thought it could happen. But I've seen it for myself. I was there. And you know what made it happen? War, a common enemy. That's right. We was fighting a common enemy, so it was like, what's up? And that's what we need now. As long as we sit here and study for the common, we study in the fight. Man! Oh, we are studying to fight. Getting ready to fight. And we're doing all our fighting. Nothing's wrong with going to college, so I tell you I'm proud of you, but we're doing all our fighting in debates. We debate this shit. We debate for our freedom. We ain't gonna get into no legislation. We ain't finna get it through marching. We ain't even finna get it through one uprising. We not finna get it through one April 29th. We finna get it every day, you guys, all of us, everywhere, see it as a necessity that we struggle to fight back. We have that as a right. That is our right when we was born. God put it into your heart to self-defeat your motherfucking self. Yeah. Fuck the next nigga. You know, if that nigga want to be a gangbanger, he don't want to follow your way, fuck that nigga. Trust me, he's out of there. He's out of there. But you have obligations to your folks, to the niggas that fell before you, to handle your motherfucking business, no matter what it means. All of it ain't gonna be free, all of it ain't gonna be out there with M14. Some of that shit gonna be staying your ass home with the kids. Put some knowledge in your kids' head. You know what I'm saying? All the niggas and all the females. Just because she a female don't mean she got to stay home with the babies. That's bullshit. Because I would much rather have some of you females out there with me in war than some of these niggas. It's a whole bunch of punks. You know, that whole Arsenio, we African Americans, everything is equal shit, and this NAACP shit, I'm gonna speak on that shit. Because I was reading the paper, I saw NAACP at a celebration for the Emancipation Proclamation. That's right. Go ahead, okay. So, from what I just said, how is the NAACP still in business? Oh, oh, ain't nobody heard. How's the NAACP still in business? How's these motherfuckers still in business? Yeah, that's cool too. That's cool too. Yeah, we let them do that shit. We let them represent us. How motherfuckers gonna stand there and talk about equal advancement of colored folks? Go ahead. What the fuck is that? That's right. Go ahead. And these be grown black folks. They be our color. Representing us to these white folks. And we be letting them do it. Because we proud. Because they got all the suits, they got offices and shit. And everything that they call the NAACP. We let them do that shit, represent us. You know, they make us look bad. Really? We really are too, I'm not trying to take up for the thugs and the gangsters and shit, but now I'm coming from a different school. I'm coming from the Panthers, and that's what they did. They went to the street element, and that's what they mobilized the soldiers. You know, that's what my mama did. That's my job. I'm going to stay in the streets and get my thug niggas who was down for me in the streets. Because I'm going to tell you, when my mama started cracking and I was by myself, this brother right here, Watani Tyler, was the only person in this movement anywhere that took care of me. Okay? So it ain't no motherfucking struggle if you don't take care of your babies. Not just yours, but the other soldiers, you know? What about that? What about all these soldiers sitting in jail? Where their kids at? Don't none of you motherfuckers give a fuck about them. Ready to carry a flag for them, wear their shirt. You ain't taking care of their motherfucking kids or their families. That's hypocritical. That ain't right. That's right. That shit ain't right, man. We got too many kids out here with nobody to put nothing in their head. Then you motherfuckers get mad when you see them again up in the courtroom. You know? So my white raper. Nigga, he left him by himself. Yeah. Left him by his motherfucking self. So he learned how to be a G from the crackers, and that's what he learned. He learned how they want him to be. Nobody taught me shit. And my mama was a parent. know? My mom would tell me, but she was too involved in it to sit down and really explain shit to me. You know? So it's a double tragedy because I'm like damn near forced to go through some of the shit that some of these soldiers went through, but because they didn't tell the new generation, they didn't arm us, I gotta go through this shit all over again. You know, I'm still getting my ass kicked by police because the niggas back in the 60s been murdered every single one of them motherfuckers. You know? They wanna be down with the police department. How can I see, how the fuck can a nigga put on a police uniform in 1993? Fuck that. Fuck that. When the shit come off, if you still got that motherfucker on, your ass is out. And if you got on the armed forces uniform, your ass is out. And if you in the guard, your ass is out. Because niggas is armed in 1993. The gang elements are armed. And they all back. As much as you want to think they dumb or whatever, they on their toes this motherfucking year. They on their toes and they ready to move. What are you ready to do? How you gonna handle it? Huh? When them niggas get out there with guns, what y'all gonna be doing? Watching that shit on TV, marching, singing, selling raffle tickets and shit with the church. What y'all gonna be doing? I just want to know because I know what the fuck I'm gonna be doing, but it would help me to know what my people was gonna be doing when I'm out there. Because my mama tell me all the time, boy, you think you gonna save the world. Don't you know they gonna kill your black ass, these people gonna bother you, and that's that. You get your back, baby. So all I want to say in closing is that we got to be united under whatever. Don't let shit hold us apart. I don't care if you're from Cali, New York, or whatever, if you're a blood, a crip, or a thug, or a school student, or a scholar, whatever. Don't let shit hold us back no more. We got to unite by any means necessary, and we got to fight. Hold your position. Hold. You're gonna Tupac out. Come on, black hands. Have a seat. In your finish. Give them a black hand. Hold your position. Have a seat. Hold your position. We're gonna close out now. Hold your seats. Hold your seats. Hold your position. Have a seat.